All right. Just want to be as much as like Teach as possible. That's funny. A one program broke the internet. Is even is way dumber than is even function. Is even a function? Doom, that doom.
Made properly tail recursive. Like,
what is going on?
Candle is actually my favorite.
Why does it keep doing that? Chat, can anyone explain? Why would my browser source sometimes lag so much? I don't understand. Whatever. I'm gonna be all installed easy. Probably ghouls. I think Pipewire. Okay, whatever. Okay, alright, so we're here. That's good. Package manager Deno install. Yep, we saw this. JavaScript registry. Okay, so we need to read about JSR for sure. Auto generating docs is pretty cool. Use TypeScript is a standard data codes that's being published. So there's seamless developer experience for you publishing. If you are interested in details, you can read about our post. Architected. How we architected JSR. Yes. Okay. We need each of these. We need each of them. Okay. Open source package ready for modern JavaScript and TypeScript. Okay. Number one question. Do they hate dark mode? Why do none of their sites have a dark mode? I have to click this, but they look bad on dark mode. That's one of my first question I'm thinking. It's not just that I don't have any problem with people having light mode websites. It's just, it was surprised that it doesn't look. That's in JSR Enterprise Edition. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Introducing JSR, the JavaScript registry. There's Ryan. Nice. JavaScript, the very short version. See the longer version. Okay. This is just at the bottom of this page. Okay, perfect. I love to learn Deno too. It sounds enticing. Well, that's what we're learning about today. If you have questions as we're going, these are good times to ask. Okay. Did we already put anything with JSR inside of here? No, we didn't write JSR down yet. Okay. JSR. Okay. Your source create title for JavaScript does doc generation is pretty nice. Yeah, it seems great. Is now in public beta. Sign up now. Optimized for TypeScript. So I like this. So it's TS. It's ESM only. Works with Deno and NPM. Free and OSS. Okay, this is good. No. Topshelf is me and Prime's podcast. Yep. And so we're having Ryan Dahl on tomorrow to talk about Deno. A vodcast. Well, there are videos, so it is in a way like a vodcast, but we're also publishing to the audio places. I just have to fix a few more things for it, and we'll be back on we'll be on like Apple Podcasts and everywhere. What's doing those online for you? Is it spell check or is it linking? Yeah, this is job. This is set no spell. It's spelling. It doesn't know the words. Can I ask why they didn't build Deno in PHP? I'll think about it. Yeah. I had the Discord scope on JSR, but they made me give it to them. Good for them. Good for them. That seems probably for the best. Yeah. It seems like a good... That seems good. Yeah, we can set them to equals. I know it's on Foxes, but only find it using direct link. It's probably because it's still kind of small. On like Spotify and everything. What's up, Ziz? Yeah. How much coffee do I drink in a day? Maybe like 2 of these. but like it's a pretty thick mug. So, but yeah, I like 2 of these. Quite a bit of coffee. I really like coffee. You can install packages like this, Dune, add Luca here, or NPM, NPX, JSR add, okay? Top 30 podcast in Germany, though. True. True. What's Teach impression of JSR? I haven't tried it enough to have any impression about it yet. We're just reading through. Dune, you better like coffee. Oh, what's up, Began? You better like coffee. Began, did you book your tickets for New York, by the way? Can you not book them last second again? Can you instead just like order tickets normally, and if you need to, cancel them in case you have to change your plans? Like a normal human being? Began? Hello? Sounds like something Began wouldn't do, to be honest. I know. That's why I'm asking him right now. I'm putting the pressure on. I'll look at them right now if you expense my last ones. Talk to Liz. Began, you have to send that in the chat. To be honest, I don't think I expensed my last ones. Oh, Began, we have a credit card for you to use. Talk to Liz. We can just say, if Liz doesn't know that you need tickets, then we'll do it. You can book with the credit card. We're a proper company for this round. Okay? But this event will be fun. It is going to be fun. So send something in here. I'll just send it Okay. All right. I just said it right now so she knows you're not trolling her. There you go. I'm helping you out. Dax said you should wear a hazmat suit. That's just because of the toxicity being around Dax. That's not like anything related to the event. Use Tmux? I don't use Tmux. I think Tmux is great though, but I just don't use it. Doesn't fit in my workflow. Okay, so you can install packages, Deno add, and then you would import packages like any other ES module. Import blah, blah, blah from here. Okay. Easily publish your own TypeScript and modules from here. Deno publish with Deno installed or JSR publish. Okay, cool. Modules are published to JSR's TypeScript source code. API documentation generation, type declarations for node-like, and translation are all handled by JSR. That seems pretty awesome. That seems great. Why do you hate Tmux? Why do you hate Tmux? Good question, Vegan. Because they didn't call it Tmux. That's why. Oh, we're focused. Okay, so the slightly longer version. Nice. Becoming the world's default programming language. Yeah. Node was a major part. Transformation. Which we really need to watch these 2 videos today. Can't talk about the success of Node without mentioning the equally incredible success of NPM. Very big. From 2009 to 2024, ECMAScript modules have arrived as the web standard for writing other common JS, AMD like RxJS, Webpack, and Babel. All modern browsers support this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. So this is just ESM, right? Teej multiplexer. You can find them clone Teej. True. Teej mugs coffee merch. We should do mugs at some point. JSR publishing is nice. It looked good. You could just run publish and then it'll do everything for you. It's like, it's good. The rest like docs though. Yeah, the docs are cool. Gonna make a Tmux function now that alias all Tmuxers command to Teejmux. I like this as well. TypeScript merged not only to write JavaScript from compile time checking, but as a test bed for the latest JavaScript language features. True. That's a solid point. He's got a solid point there. Because, like, there's a bunch of things where, okay, these things exist inside of TypeScript land, but then they're not yet into JavaScript, so you have to compile them down anyway. So you write it in TypeScript, and then it gets compiled to some compatible JavaScript. Right? Is that, am I... Or, like, bundled. What's the right word? This is, like, what's the word that people would use for this? Why is there no pipe operator in Deno? Transpiled. Yeah, but I mean, I guess like that's fine. I'm just saying, is there a particular word that people use to talk about when you write the feature in the new TC39 syntax? Maybe that's in TypeScript, but that hasn't reached wide JavaScript support yet. Is there a special way that people talk about that or no? Polyfill? Yeah, maybe it's like polyfill. Yeah, polyfill, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah, so there's sort of this aspect of like polyfilling as well from TypeScript. Okay. Yeah. Node is no longer insanity. Thank you. That is the word actually that I was searching for, but I couldn't find. Node is no longer only relevant. Deno, worker D, bun mentioned, and more to come. Low latency runtime is lightweight JavaScript design is growing in for fast and efficient serverless applications from AWS Labs. Interesting. More. I was running out of guests for Topshelf. I only have a list of 59 people to reach out to that I thought would be cool. So I was thinking we probably do need a few new JS runtimes. So that I could have a few more guests to reach out to. So that makes sense. So that's good to know. That's good to know that more are coming. I was a little worried I was going to run out of Topshelf guests, but there's always another JavaScript runtime to ask about. Syntax lowering is a cool way of saying it, yeah. Between runtimes and frameworks, you should never run out, yeah. The Bofa JS, yeah, I do wonder if both of these JSs will fit on my podcast. Almost as many as Rust game engines. While NPM remains a foundational code for web development, it's not designed with these new realities in mind. I believe it's time to reimagine. Okay, so ESM, yep. Prime will be able to rant about. Prime will really want to talk about. Prime will be happy that ESM only because he still doesn't know anything about modules, I think, or how to fix problems. So Prime will be happy about that, so that's good. We're not giving up on Rust game dev yet. Doesn't matter very much. I mean, some people are definitely making games in it, or at least game engines. Should be designed for TypeScript from first principles. It should simple, fast, provide an excellent DX. Sure, yeah. It should be free and open source, yeah. And it should build on 6 npm, not fork it. Fair enough, yeah. Why? That's not what we're reading. Okay. Yeah. Bevy's pretty cool. Stream today, Prime thought RTMP is going through UDP instead of TCP. RTMP is going to... Oh, I don't know. I don't know which one it does. I don't care at all. It is a Michigan head, yeah. I live in Michigan. Zig has mock? Yeah. Made by my former coworker. Tell your kids about ranked Michigan football. What about it? What about ranked Michigan football? What? I don't understand the joke. JSR, homepage use server module like name, description, H2 server, find oak. Oh, okay. This is why someone asked, had I used oak before? Are you going to use Node.js on the back end? On the front end. Yeah. Framework for handling HP with Deno, Node. Oh, that's cool. So this can go for a bunch of different places. You guys are ranked 24 right now. No joke. That's honestly maybe higher than we deserve this year. We'll see. No router. Bro, shipping front end with Node and web containers. Let's go. Doc type HTML head hello oak. That's cool. Yep, that's cool. CTX response body. You will have to install the package and then Yeah. You have to install the package then. Can you not? So, okay, so here's a question that I have here. Can I not write @oak / this stuff? Do I have to put JSR? Otherwise, aren't these exactly the same? Oh, no, because this one, like, just runs here. This one here. This Cloudflare works with the export default, fetch, app.fetch. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. It's cool. Yahano, I've heard of it. Already published on JSR. Note that each package has a quality score. JSR score 100%. What does the score mean? Scores are an expanding number of factors like completeness of documentation, optimal declarations for fast type checking, and compatibility with multiple runtime. Oh, that's cool.
Properly tailor recursive.
Yo, hey, thanks for the Twitch Prime. I appreciate that.
Was actually my favorite.
Oh, that's cool. It's nice that they have the score thing, trying to help people make the right decisions on stuff. Cool. Let's find the right module installation and use instructions on the top of every one. Yep, cool. Let's use no oak in a Node.js project. For all your hard work. Oh, hey, thank you. I appreciate that. The full marks for everyone gets a 99% unless the original is written in Melange. That's very based. I like that actually. That seems like a good idea. Create a file named index.mjs. Although it's recently installed oak. Yep. You can visit this with Node JSR. See how this works. See what JSR can do for you behind the scenes. Let's create and publish a TypeScript module called Yassify, which will glow up a string of text with this. Interesting. You know, serve some commands. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm not super interested necessarily in like, we're not gonna use Deno for anything like right now. I just want to understand what they're trying to accomplish. I believe people that it's easier. I never published anything on NPM, and I'm not gonna publish anything on Deno either. So it's fine. I believe them that it's easier. I saw some stuff for it. Like, it seems good. See the support section native. It would be fastest to build this module using Deno. However, you can use TypeScript using any runtime you wish. Yeah, I know. It's like, it's gonna go past me. I don't do stuff in the JavaScript ecosystem really. Terminal, create a new folder called Yassify. JSR, JSON, mod TS here. Mod TS. The exports. Scope and package, version of your package, and the exports fields. Yep, and a README. Very cool. You can write something here. Deno publish. Boom, and then it's there. You get your own scope. All that's great. Create button will prompt a final authorization check. Approve. That's very cool. That's really easy. It's really easy. It's very cool. One thing that I wasn't sure I'm in love with, but I get like it kind of requires GitHub, doesn't it? Or no? Does it require GitHub? It seems good though. GitHub. Yeah, I don't know. Because I thought there was something about maybe you don't need to. I don't know. Alicia is Deno only. Alicia Deno. Or bun only. Oh, that's funny. I use Arch Linux, by the way. Yeah, I'm kind of more of a fan of this style, to be honest. Like I kind of like. I'm more of a fan of these. I use Pop Plus, by the way. I use neither of them, by the way. Expensive like static code naturals, Lisa generate optimized code on the fly. That seems cool. Seems like a cool project. Okay. Me too. Yeah, I have a wife and kids, by the way. Functions and symbols, docs are generated from your source code and comments. Very cool. Very cool. You can also help potential users with runtime support by using under the settings tab. I want to come to the description of your module here, which will appear in the results. Very cool. Consuming your new module in an Astro project. Okay. He's got a point. Hey, North. How's it going? Tuna, good to see you. Play train set. Each choice train for personal puzzle pieces. End type safety. Yeah, that seems great. It seems pretty cool. Once your Astro project is created, you can install the S5 module, just creating the following command. Open up your Astro project in your favorite editor. VS Code mentioned. What the heck? Add here, component script, S5 like this. Automatically transpile this and include a .d. You get this. Oh, so this is nice. So like from JSR, you don't have to do like installing the types thing. You know how you like, at least I don't know. This is what it seems like you always do, like npm install node at like type / node, something stupid like this all the time, right? Obviously node's not the one you would do, but like package, right? Package. So you just don't have to do that anymore. Yep. Function Astro project inside this. Yes, by the title, blah, 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 npm start. Nice. Publishing from GitHub is all well and good for trying things out. You probably want to publish package from CI. Easy way to do this is linking a GitHub repo. Learn how to set up a GitHub repo here. Cool. Further commits to main branch will automatically publish JSR. Nice. And Providence Transparency. Very cool. Help us level up JavaScript ecosystem. Yeah, that seems great. Setting up TS support for NPM publisher is bad. Adds a lot of complexity. Interesting. Okay. That's fine. There wasn't anything new in there. I do think there is something interesting about Rust, like asking thoughts on large projects in Rust. You know, sort of like as your team has grown, what are some difficult things? You know, like I'm interested to know a little bit on sort of some of those aspects for it. Why not Zig? I don't think Zig would have made really much sense for them to do this. I think they would probably have done some other I don't think Zig would have made much sense. At least when they started it, because they started it a while ago. A documented JavaScript package. Yeah. Yeah, JS doc, YJS doc, brief intro, good type information. Do you still have to type inside of the JS doc? You don't need to write the types of things, right? They'll pull out the types inside of here. Yeah, just this. Okay, great. I would like a balance, benefits and drawbacks with Rust. Yeah, I think both. Like, I would say I'm interested to know this. Like, what are your, you know, sort of like favorite aspects of working with Rust? I'm also interested, like, how much inspiration do you like take from various Rust tooling, right? Like Cargo, like all these other ones, right? Like how much inspiration are you taking from those? I think those are pretty sort of like interesting questions to ask. So Rafael, welcome. When Ryan started working on Deno, it was written in Go. Really? The first person written in Go? Originally written in Go. Thanks, honey. Sweet. Thanks. Huggins, do you have a link for that? What's up, Leandro? Good to see you. The one I sent you? No, Huggins. Is it in the Huggins? He said I was listening to another interview. It's in the second link. Oh, okay. It's in this one. This is from 6 years ago. They didn't have NPM support then, right? Or I don't know. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, does there anyone have any link where they talked about it was written in Go and then what happened? This is not winning the runtime war. They're only getting adoption for real time because they're faster. Yeah. Whoops. Ooh, almost knocked my fork over, but I caught it, chap. Nice. Dad reflexes there. Okay, well, let's okay, I gotta eat, so let's watch this while we're... I'm gonna put it on 1.5. Sorry, chat.
I'm going to talk about Node. So briefly, so Node is a server-side JS platform. It's built on Google's V8. It does I/O in a very special way, which I will describe in great detail. It uses the common JS module system, and
Wow.
it's
okay.
written in C, which has confused a lot of people. So it's a rather large C project, actually. So the thesis is that I/O has to be done differently. We're doing it wrong. Everything...
This video is 12 years old, so you just gotta forgive him, okay? This video is 12 years old, and it is literally 360p. That's the best quality we have, all right? We'll leave subtitles on in case you need them.
The way that we're thinking about doing I/O really makes things difficult. So writing servers and writing any sort of application is difficult because of how we're doing I/O.
I want to watch him talk about Node.
A lot of web applications have such line of code. Like you query a database, and then you return a result, and then you use the result. And so the question is, what is your web framework doing while this line of code is running?
Thanks. I'll check that one after
in
this.
In many cases, you're not doing anything at all. You're just sitting there while the database is waiting to respond. And that might be that the database is in San Francisco, or it might be... Thank you. There's a lot of reasons. Okay. Well, the point is that you can't just wait for it to respond. There's a big difference between what happens inside your CPU.
Such a good slide. This is such a good slide, chat. Here, let me move, we'll move chat down to here so you guys can read it a little bit better. I think a lot of these are going to be in
memory, and what happens when you go to something outside of that. If you go to a disk, or if you go to a network, if you have to do a TCP connection to a different server, even if it's in your same hosting center, then you're talking about millions of clock cycles instead of hundreds of clock cycles or tens of clock cycles. So you can't do nothing. So obviously, better software can do better than just wait for the database to respond. It can multitask. So you can have different threads of execution running. So the question is that the best that we can do? And I think you can look at two popular web servers and see how they're doing I/O and decide if what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. So here's a benchmark. which is possibly not visible to you.
Well,
But,
definitely,
it shows,
definitely not in
concurrency
360p,
like the number of concurrent
unfortunately.
clients on the web server on the horizontal axis, and on the vertical axis, it shows requests per second. And so this is Nginx and Apache. And what you see is that the Nginx is responding faster. Not so much faster, twice as fast, 3 times as fast, especially when you get to higher concurrency. Who cares? But the big difference is when you look at versus memory. So again, on the horizontal axis is the number of clients on your server. But now on the vertical axis, you have memory. And
I don't know what this.
I will draw it for you. This is Apache, and this is Nginx. So, it looks great on mine. Okay, so the point is that Apache uses tons of memory. When you start getting a lot of clients, if you have 3,000 people connecting to your Apache server, you're using many megabytes of memory. Whereas Nginx stays very stable. It stays with a small footprint. And the question really is, what's the difference between these two? And the big difference is that Apache uses threads for each connection, and Nginx uses an event loop.
Looks good on my machine.
So to be slightly technical, the first benchmark kind of tells you that context switching between the different threads, which is what Apache does, is not free. It costs some CPU time. And the second one is that each thread takes memory, and that ends up being a lot of memory. And kind of in the building tight little server thing community, if you want to make a little Nginx server or you want to make a little IRC server, everybody knows that you can't use threads for connections. This is not the right way to do concurrency. The right way to do concurrency is to have a single thread and have an event loop. So you do something,
I
and
wonder
then you're done
like
with it. And then you do something else.
how much more popular event loop is as like an idea since Node.js and like some of these other libuv and other stuff became more popularized. I don't know. Interesting.
And you're done with it. What that requires, though, is that what you do never takes very long. You have to have non-blocking I/O. So Apache uses OS threads. There's other threading systems.
LWT, true.
Green threads, or you could have coroutines.
True, Dave. Good point.
These can help the situation very much, but it's still machinery. It's still something that needs to be done. You have to do something to create the illusion that when you connect to the database, your program halts. You don't move on to the next line until it comes back. It's an illusion. Your program's not halting. It's doing all these other things, but it looks like it's halting. So I say that threaded concurrency is a leaky abstraction. It creates pains. You have locking problems. You have these memory problems. It's hard to think about. It's not a very good abstraction for what's really happening on your computer.
Nice.
So code like this.
I'd love to hear him talk about, Dave, should we ask him about OCaml 5, EIO?
Where you call a function and it connects to some server and returns something from that server as if no time has passed, and then you're going to use the result beyond that. This somehow either requires blocking the entire process, or you're going to have some sort of threading system. Maybe it's coroutines, but it's probably going to require multiple execution stacks.
Yep. That makes
You
sense.
can have
That makes sense.
code like this where you make the query to the database, and instead of waiting for the response inside that function, you give it a callback in one form or another. When this happens, your execution can run right through that statement, make that request, and continue doing other things. When the request comes back, millions and millions of clock cycles later, you can execute the callback.
Yeah, that's the
There's
one
no
we're talking
machinery
about.
involved in this. All you need is a pointer to that callback. So this is how we need to do I/O. If you want very fast, high concurrency servers, you have to design them like this. So, okay, you say, yeah, but everybody's talking about threads. You know, my boss says that Java threads are super cool, blah, blah, blah. Why isn't everybody doing this? Why should you believe me? Well, there's 2 reasons. I think they can be summed up in 2 reasons anyway. And it would be cultural and
Java threads.
infrastructural.
This is 12 years ago,
I think
guys.
that there's
Just
a
relax.
cultural bias
Guys.
against doing non.
I had not written a single line of code when this video was published.
Blocking I/O. You know, your first program that you ever do I/O with is something where you enter your name, and then you get the results. Somebody types that in, but you block on that function. You don't do anything else, and then you print out the name. So we're taught to like demand input, and we kind of treat it the same way on socket.
Yeah, 12 years ago. First time I programmed was 2014.
So we connect to the database and, all right, give me the response. So people see code like this, where instead of waiting, you just give a callback.
Dang, Huggins, that's pretty crazy.
I can't do that. That's spaghetti code. That's too complicated. I think we should reconsider this. I don't think it is necessarily more complicated. Maybe in the simplest cases like this, but when you start writing an IRC server, it becomes very natural to write code like this. And the other reason would be the missing infrastructure. So remember, if you're on an event loop,
oh, nice try.
You can never block on I/O. You can never wait for the
I didn't do any programming till my sophomore year of college.
Database to respond, because you're in a single thread. If you ever wait, everything else shuts down. Where in a threaded environment, you can wait occasionally or for very long periods of time. So the problem is that we just don't have like libraries available to us to do this sort of non-blocking I/O. So
during school, no, not until college. That was first time.
A couple of examples, like POSIX has an asynchronous file I/O specification, but it's really hard to find such libraries. Man pages often don't state if a function is going to access the disk or not. You just don't know, which is important. Closures and anonymous functions you don't have in C, so that makes writing such evented code difficult. And things like libmysql client don't support asynchronous queries. I think they actually might do asynchronous queries, but not asynchronous connections. And asynchronous DNS resolution is really difficult to find. So,
Twisted, yeah.
There are certain
Isn't that the
solutions,
Python one? Oh man, I remember looking at this a long time ago.
Or if you come from Perl, any event. These are libraries that provide such an event loop with non-blocking sockets. And it is fairly easy to use them to create efficient servers. But I think that users are kind of confused as how to use this. If you're using Ruby, there's all of these libraries available. And you have event.
Okay, one sec. Let me write down some thoughts here. All right, we'll just put down something random here. At the time you were making Node, how popular were event loops as a programming concept, right? Because I feel like it's not popular. That's sort of my impression here. What were people's responses when you were pitching event loop as an idea, right? It's sort of like, all this makes so much more sense than it would have before I started studying operating system. Yeah, that makes sense. Because this is I'm kind of interested in sort of like some thoughts about this and like have people's perceptions changed. Okay. I wonder if should we leave this smaller? Is it actually easier to read not at full screen? I actually think chat, is this actually easier to read when it's smaller? Is this the paradox of blurry video? I think it's actually a little bit easier. You should just leave this like here, maybe, right? Less blur on the edges. I feel like that's kind of this is actually easier to read. Yeah, I'm moving chat. Don't worry, I'm moving chat. You guys don't need to read my notes. The notes are for me.
Event machine in here,
okay.
And you want to know, how do I use these other ones? And usually the answer to that is you can't, because the MySQL library for Ruby blocks on everything. So you can't just throw that into an event loop. But people don't know that. And so users really still require some knowledge of event loops or non-blocking I/O, which almost nobody has. And so it doesn't abstract the problem very well. But yeah, luckily JavaScript was designed in such a way that it was built for an event loop. The browser side JavaScript that you have is an event loop. You create a button. Somebody clicks it, you get an on-click callback. This is exactly what one needs to do event loop stuff. So yeah, it has anonymous functions and closures. When you're on the browser, you only get one callback.
How can I make this
You're
big?
not getting multiple callbacks. And
how can I make this big, chat? Surely there's a view in full screen mode here. Okay, there we go. Nice. Which way do you guys want this?
you don't need to lock variables.
We're down to I'll just do this. I'll be in charge of this, chat, okay? I'll be in charge of doing this. Code like this. We're on anonymous functions and closures. Right here, okay.
And the I/O is just done through those callbacks. So I think everybody...
Oh, wait, what is this going to do? Hodl? I don't know what it's going to click when it says download now. I'm scared. To download this, please sign up. Ugh, whatever. I'll sign up just for you guys. One sec. Yeah, and dude, I'm clicking download now, but I'm... Paid? What the heck? I have to pay to download these slides? What? 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 Not open source stuff. Okay, well, I'm not doing that. Sorry. Okay, we'll just keep going. It's okay.
In this room who is familiar with JavaScript is already kind of prepared for writing evented servers. You don't really need to know that much more. So, right. So that was a long motivation. So, what I want to make is.
I do like this is an interesting point. JavaScript people are already used to doing event-based stuff on click, for example, right? So it's like, what if we do this in Node? This is a pretty interesting idea. I didn't even think about that before.
A non-blocking infrastructure so that you can make very highly concurrent servers, and you don't need to know about it. We're going to abstract all of the difficult non-blocking event loop. You don't need to know about that. It's just going to be callbacks. So, right. So let me just give some design.
Promises. Promises JS. What's that ChatGPT? ChatGPT surely will know. Surely ChatGPT will know. We'll ask our Grug version. Okay. When did promises first show up in JS? When did await syntax get merged? June 2015, async await 2017. Can you share the Grug prompt? It's literally just go to Grug Brain dev, go here, click here, just copy paste this basically in, and then just put that as your system prompt and say respond like this. That's all. That's pretty much what I did. I'm not joking you. Like I just went, dang it. How do I go to here? Grug. No, how do I do this? Hide from sidebar. Where is edit? Customize. Oh my. This website, dude. My GPTs. Edits. Here we go. Grug only answer question. Grug no yap. Grug very smart. Think answers so few words required. Does not yap. And then I just pasted in some other things from here, right? You just are saying like the eternal enemy, complexity. You just go like this. You just put this in here. Like this. Headers for inspiration. You just go like this, right? And then you go down here and you say, oh, saying okay. Okay, Grug, build that feature like this. You know? This is just like this. Grug thoughts. Okay? You just go like this. You say, you click update here. You want to do this? Then you just say like, hey, Grug give link. Grug do other things, right? That's it. So then you go back to here. You click Grug. You say, tell me about the history of promises in JS. Like this. Grug just give answer. There's no yap. There's nothing else, right? So it's just, you just do this. There's nothing special about it, right? Bluebird JS. I've never heard of it before. All right, there we go. So anyways, nice. Look at this. Is this not nice? This is pretty nice, is it not? This is a good answer. Good answer. Good answer. Okay.
And then I'll give some actual practical examples of how to build a server. So first of all, no function should perform I/O. To receive disk or network information from or from another process, you have to have some sort of callback. So you can never have that sort of function that makes some query that returns something. That's not allowed. It should be low level. So I want everything to be able to stream in and out. I should never force the user to buffer data. And if you're familiar with like Ruby on Rails or something, a lot of places force you to buffer data in one way or another. I don't want to make those choices for you. It's low level. People can build on top of that. So if they want to buffer their data, then they can do that, but at my level, at the node level, it should not make any sort of decisions like that. And similarly,
why is it called node? Why is it called node? Okay.
shouldn't remove any functionality at the POSIX layer. So for example, have closed TCP connections. Everybody's shrugging, but there's good stuff to be had that everybody ignores.
Well, this is just, are people angry at him in this talk? What is this?
Remove any functionality at the POSIX layer. So for example, have closed TCP connections. Everybody's shrugging, but there's good stuff to be had that everybody ignores.
What is that? Are people angry here? I don't know.
And so I should also have like some built-in support. You don't want to write everything. I want it to be low level, but I think TCP and DNS and HTTP are infrastructural protocols. They're very important, and so there should be very good support for them in such a system.
He's already, ooh, this is so, I love this. I love this. Okay, so you can see here, he's saying include TCP, DNS, HTTP, right? Important protocols. We should just include them. This is literally programming should be simple 2012 edition. I'm trying it, but there's Grug GPT. Yeah, I don't know. You can just you can probably use one or just make your own. It's fine too. I love this though. That's awesome.
In particular with HTTP, it's going to have many features. So we're going to have chunked requests, chunked responses. I'm going to have keep alive, and importantly, you should be able to get a request and respond to it at will. So you should be able to hang requests, and this is what you need for Comet style applications.
Lots of people have said programming should be simple. It's not a unique thing necessarily, but it is what they just did in their announcement for Deno 2. So that's why I was bringing it up. I just like seeing that this is the same process he has right here in 2012. You know what I'm saying? Which I just think is cool. I like connecting these dots, right, as much as we can, where it's literally like he's been saying the same thing for 12 years. It's fun to find those, right?
If you want to do a long poll, then you have to hang that request and wait till you have something to tell the user. And finally, the API needs to be familiar. So if I'm going to have a timer, I'm going to call it set timeout. It should look like browser JavaScript. And where it's not browser JavaScript, where I'm talking about POSIX stuff, then it should use the POSIX names. That is, I don't want to reinvent what people are doing. I just kind of want to present an idealized version of that. And then finally, it should be platform independent. At the moment, I don't compile on Windows, but there's no reason I can't, and I hope to soon.
This is such a guy. It's like, there's no reason we couldn't make it work on Windows. I'm just not that far. It's such a relatable. So relatable, dude. I don't think he was saying exclusively them Ninja. I think you're probably reading into it too much. There's other things that he included besides just these. He's just saying like we are gonna include support for the important ones. Is this does anyone know, is this the version of Node that they were trying to support in that one project that everyone was angry about?
Okay, so now some actual examples. So Node is, you have to compile it, so you have to download it. So there's no binaries is what I want to say. And there's
make install. This is make install. Yeah, no, Shrey, I'm memeing. I know that this isn't ready.
Python, so it should be fairly easy to build. It's not very difficult, or at least it should not be. Okay, so here's your first example. This program is going to output hello after having waited 2 seconds. So first we require the system module,
yeah, I know.
to output some data. This is the CommonJS require, uses the semantics defined by CommonJS. Then we set a timeout for 2,000 milliseconds. Importantly, the callback inside is not done right now. First, we print hello, which comes after that. 2 seconds later, world is printed out.
Nice.
So Node, after the world is printed out, Node exits. So that's kind of important. When there's nothing else to do on the event loop, if there's no more timers, then it exits. It's the end of the process. Okay, so here's what you would do. You would put it into a file.
This is actually pretty wild.
And then run it with the Node program. And you get hello. 2 seconds later, world, and the process exits. Okay. So now we're going to change the hello world program. And what we'll do this time is we're going to go in a loop. So we're going to use the set interval function. And we're going to
Unusable.
loop forever and print out a
Johnny,
message.
that's funny.
And then what we want when the user kills it, when they hit Control-C, that it prints out a message and then exits. And this is to demonstrate the special process object in Node and the how you set a
Process.
signal.
Hey, we know this one, chat.
For the interrupt signal.
We know this one.
Okay, so again, we do the require. We just need one function, so let's just pull it out into a variable. In the next 3 lines, we set up the interval, which calls that callback every 500 milliseconds. Right, and then the last couple lines, we're setting up a signal handler. So you do this by calling this add listener function, which is should be fairly familiar if you're used to the DOM. Then you print out goodbye. And
Did
then
he pronounce it dome? I think I'm gonna start doing that.
you exit the process. So this process object emits events when it receives a signal. So it emits the SIGINT event.
This is right off the dome.
It would be the same for any other signal that the process might get. So this is like the DOM. You just add a listener to
It is.
what the process
Oh,
is doing.
dude, I love this. All the JavaScript people are gonna be so mad. I'll be like, "What? Are you disagreeing with the creator of Node.js?" Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. What? Who are you? What have you made? Yeah, you're gonna disagree with the creator of Node.js. All right. Oh yeah, big ol' you. You know. Oh wow.
There's a couple of other things on the process, like the PID, the program arguments, the environment, current working directory, memory usage, useful things. So the way that process emits these events is pretty typical for Node. So many objects emit events. It's kind of the fundamental paradigm in
Side of AI.
So like, for example, a TCP server would emit a connection event every time somebody connects. And like if you have somebody's doing an HTTP upload, it would emit, the request object would emit a body event each time you get a packet of that upload. So somebody's uploading a stream, a movie or so to your server, and you get body, body, body. So yeah, all objects that emit events are instances of the event emitter class.
There you go. That's the one.
Okay, so here's
That's the one we
first
know,
TCP
chat.
server example.
Dude, it's pretty crazy. A bunch of these ideas, they're just like they're like still in Node. You know what I mean? Is that not, I mean, you gotta respect that. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty wild.
So we're going to make a TCP server. It's going to listen on port 8000. And then when somebody connects, we're going to send the peer a message. We're going to say hello, and then we're going to close the connection. So a very simple TCP server. So we have to require the TCP module. That's what we do in the first line. And then we create a server object, S. And that's a TCP server. And then we add a listener for the connection event. And we get this object C from the connection event. That's our connection. We send it hello, we close. And then finally, we have to start it listening on port 8000. So if we tried that, then we would we would put that code into server.js, and you can telnet to localhost at port 8000, and you get hello, and then the server closes.
Dude, that looks almost exactly like Net. I know, 12 years ago. That is so cool. You know what I mean? That is so cool. Isn't burned out from JS? Well, maybe he writes Rust all day long now. But yeah, I was gonna ask him about that at some. That's one of the things I'm interested to talk to them about. But yeah.
So we can simplify this a little bit. So the connection listener does it. You don't need to call this add listener. You can just pass it to the constructor. And so we can simplify this.
Oh, we're
program
down here.
into just
Sorry.
a couple lines
Sorry, chat. Sorry, chat.
by doing this. So file I/O in Node is non-blocking. This is something that's usually very hard to do. In Node, it's quite hard not to do. It's a bit the opposite, which is good. I mean,
This is such a good. Okay. Yep. I love this. This is Node makes the right thing easy to do and the wrong thing hard to do. The example he gives is file IO, which reminds me, chat. This literally every time we sing the song at church, this is what I think of. There's this song every time at church we sing to him. Jesus paid it all to him I owe. In my head, when I read this out, I literally am reading all to him I owe. I laugh every time we sing it at church. There's nobody around me that understands why I think that hymn is hilarious. I try not to make it obvious, but every time I see it, all to him, I/O in my head. That's what I think when I read this every time. Oh. Oh man. So every time now I write I/O somewhere, I also think of this. All to him is such a variable name. Add the blog. Yeah, I know. I read some of his blog posts already. I'm gonna read them off stream to get some thoughts about it later. But anyways, file IO as the example. Hard to do blocking IO in Node. Okay, I think that's important. Thanks for. I know. I do apologize to everyone else who practices and sings this song, because I think I have broken their brains for that song as well. All right.
The way that you should be doing things should be easy, and the way you shouldn't be doing things should be difficult.
Nice. There it is, right there. That's the quote I love. Yes. 2012. Nice.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at the last time somebody modified EDC password. So first we require the POSIX module, which has all of our file IO operations, and we pull out the stat function. We require our puts function, get that from the sys module. And
add callback. This is EIEIO. I know. I always think of yeah. Anyways, this is before, guys. This is before promises are standardized. So just relax, okay?
On EDC password, and it returns a promise, which I'll talk more about.
Wait, did he invent the term promise for this?
When the stat operation was complete. And then finally, we print out the modified time. So these promise objects are pretty common. All the file operations return a promise. And so a promise is an event emitter which emits a success or an error event. So if you do some file operation, you don't want to block.
It doesn't sound like it. It doesn't sound like it. Was Node, because promise comes in 2007. Oh, wait. Proposal by here. CommonJS promises A plus. Promise terms of value, maybe. I bet promise way older. Think of future, yeah. Yeah, I know that. Obviously, like, the concept of something calling something back later. Yeah, obviously, Node didn't invent that. I'm with you there. Was Node the one to popularize the term promise? (2007) Okay. Hit me with the original proposal link. Don't just tell me about it, you dolt. Why can I not click this? What the heck? It showed a link. It literally showed a link, chat. What? It had a link and then it ate it. Bad. Didn't fully follow instructions. You have to pay for the link to become clickable. Okay, so this is 2007. Okay, so this is before this. Okay. Give me the markdown and give it to me raw. ChatGPT is just oh my goodness, what the heck? Can I click this when it's what the oh, come on. What is going on? $1 trillion company, by the way.
Because that's going to be a long time. You can't just shut down your server while you spin the disk. So you send off this request to the disk. Okay, tell me what time that file was modified. I'm going to go do other things.
Oh, we're here. Sorry,
and
we're
then
here.
Eventually, it comes
right
back
here.
And it says, success. I got the answer for you. Here it is. Or error. So the promise.add callback was just API sugar for promise.add listeners for success. Okay,
cool.
So
very cool. Very cool.
More complicated. Now we're going to do an HTTP server. We have to require the HTTP module. and we create a HTTP server object.
What?
And the callback for
Everybody's
this, which is called on
complicated.
each request,
What the
is a
heck?
request object and a response object. So then we send the header, the 200 success code, and content type text plain, and we send body hello, send body world, and then we finish the response. This is slightly more complicated than if you were at the Narwhal talk before. Tom promotes the JSGI specification. This is more complicated than that.
JSGI? What is the JSGI specification? Common JS specification. Well-defined application web servers. Is it like CGI? But who is running JSGI? Oh, dead links. This talk happened in 2009, 15 years ago. (2012) 2009. I'll just trust you that that's true. I'm just gonna change. I'm gonna update them. Yeah, some web server thing. Obviously, stupid JSW CGI web gateway. Well, it's pretty easy to read Python when it's white space squished to the edge. Is an interface between web servers and JavaScript-based web application frameworks, inspired by Rack for Ruby and WSGI. First slide has the date, by the way. I believe you. I believe you. Anyways, we're gonna keep moving here.
For a good reason. JSGI requires you to rack to. It's the same thing. You have a function and then you return the result. So all the processing happens in a single function, which, as I said at the beginning, is something we want to avoid. If you have to connect to the database, then you don't want to have to respond
Insignificant white space, yeah.
Now I think that there's some ways to do that.
I know I got trolled on that one.
I like this. I think it's simple enough. So let's try this out. So we put the code into HTTP server.js. We run curl on it, and we get hello world. Okay, now slightly more complicated. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to have a HTTP server.
I believed you guys. I didn't think someone was going to lie about the date for no reason, so it's good.
Server which outputs hello world. But instead of outputting it all at once, it's going to output hello, and then it's going to output world 2 seconds later. So what we do is we put a set timeout in there. So we wait for 2,000 milliseconds in the request.
Very cool.
So you might wonder, like, okay, who cares? Why would anybody want to do this? But this is important because while the server doesn't shut down when the set timeout is called, it doesn't say set timeout. It's not a sleep. You're not sleeping for 2 seconds and not doing anything else. You're serving requests. So here's a request, here's a request, here's a request. And then suddenly, okay, that one's done, that one's done, that one's done. This is the exact behavior that you need for Comet-style applications. If you need to do a long poll, you have to be able to hang requests in an efficient way. And this demonstrates how you can do that. This isn't the right way to do a long poll thing, but it demonstrates that you can hang requests. So let's try it out. We put it into a file, HTTP server 2, call it with node.
Nice.
Curl, we get hello. 2 seconds later, we get world, a streaming web server. Okay, we can also use, we can also call programs with node, one would hope. So we can do that with the sys.exe command. Of course, this also returns a promise because it's something that doesn't happen immediately. It doesn't happen in memory. But you know, if you do ls/, that might have to spin the disk. And so there's some time that happens between the time that starts and the time that finishes. So we have to have a callback. So we add a callback to the promise object, which is returned from sys.exe. And then we output the output.
What's up, Ashish? Good to see you.
Okay, so, but I told you before that I never would.
I didn't even think about that. Spin the disc, dude. Oh my goodness. Relevant meme. You spin the disc. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. Oh man.
Buffer data and
2009, by the way. It's been
that just buffered the data. So there's also a lower level way to call subprocess to make a child process where you can stream the data through the standard I/O. So you can stream that if you're
I didn't even think of that.
You don't want to buffer all of that data in memory. You want to stream it to the parent process, and parse it and handle it, do whatever with it, but hopefully not buffer it. So this is a simple form of inter-process communication. So this is an example of that, where we're going to launch the cat program, like the Unix cat program, which whatever you send to it, it just sends the same thing back. And so we create the child process in line 3. We add a listener for output. So every time that there's some output, it has that callback. And then in the last couple lines, we write data to the cat process.
My cat's
so
code.
That's sending that hello world in line 11 and 12 to
What a coinkydink that you're here now. Whoops.
the standard in of the cat process. And then finally, we call close, which closes the standard in of the cat process, and cat terminates when its standard in is complete. Okay, so we can create sub-processes, we can create child processes, and stream data in and out of them.
Does this gist still work? gist.github.com A3D0BBBFF196AF6339995. See if I typed that right. First try, boys. First try. TCP require TCP sys puts inspect channels users look up channel.proto broadcast to everyone else. I'm a little lost on this one. It's just so that you can do this this. Okay. Prototype quit, blah, blah, blah. Prototype priv message, send topic, send names. Prototypical inheritance. What? Is this how I was not writing JavaScript in 2009?
Code good. He really does love listening to himself.
Classes before classes, dude. This guy's going hard on here.
Like you'll go person, woman, man,
Camera. Oh, Haskell? Haskell mentioned? Very cool. Nice. Yeah, this is very OCaml though. Okay, so where is our Node.js shenanigans here? Because I want to see socket close. This dot socket close. This is cool, man. TCP create server. Here we go. Socket, add listener, receive. Yeah. We start reading them. User quit flooding. Oh, it's too much. Hey, you're spamming. Get out of here. Get them out. I know. I'm looking for the socket parts, etc. Yeah. No, I know. I know it's all Node.js. I'm saying like, man, my JS never looked like this. They're a pretty different language from 2009. What a comment, dude. What the heck? And then a not bad in 2022. Oh my goodness. Maybe we should ask him to do a code review. Like maybe a code review would be pretty fun here. Add listeners, end of files, timeouts, server listen, require REPL, IRC.d. Very cool. Comment something as well. I'm not gonna comment something. Why would I comment? It doesn't like, I mean, I think it's funny that someone commented something on here like this, but it's not like, it's kind of annoying. Like I wouldn't do it, but I think it's funny that it happened in a way. All right.
Okay, so now I have a demo for you. I wrote an IRC server in Node, just a hack really, but just to demonstrate what you can do. So maybe this will work, maybe this won't work, but let's try to go to irc.nodejs.org and go onto the node.js channel. Let's see if I can.
live demo? Holy cow, that is sick.
Okay, so I have my terminal here. I'm actually logged into the server. So first of all, I'm going to connect to the server. Hopefully it's still running and it hasn't crashed.
2009. Live demo of this. This demo is what propelled Node, from what I've heard.
Okay, so now I'm connected, and I will join the Node.js channel.
Recording it inside prison.
Okay,
Full screen. There's nothing to see right
that's
now.
that. You can see people talking. So this IRC server is running on Node. This is an IRC client, of course. What I want to do is actually show. Yes. I also have a repo library, a read eval print loop. And so since we have an event loop, we can add all sorts of I/O to this. This is one process, but we can add a REPL to it without thinking about it. Because what we do is we do on our event loop, we do all the connections, we send all the messages, we come back, and then we can do the REPL things.
Dude, I want to ask him about this so bad.
That would also be possible,
so
all in
cool.
the same process, just by going around the event loop. And since nothing blocks, we can just add as much I/O as we want to. So I show you the REPL now.
He did say REPL.
Kind of.
Oh. Thank you, Axor. Sounds like how I would pick with Squid. Yeah,
Okay,
Squid.
so it's running on screen, so I'm just going to open the screen.
Dang, I wish they would have captured this.
Oh, wrong one.
Thanks, Mark. And Dev Ninja.
There it is. Okay, so this is the IRCD REPL thing. And so what I can do is I have total control over the IRC server. So for example, I can kill some of these users off.
Dang. Oh, dude, the chuckles. Dude. When you get chuckles like this in a live demo, oh, dude. Legendary.
Yay. Okay, I have full control. I can also make people like say things.
That's funny.
This is of course like just JavaScript.
Dang. They moved the camera earlier. Guys, shift it over a little. I want to see what he's writing. I know. I want to see the legendary commands he's typing out manually.
Okay, maybe that didn't work. Okay. Anyway, the point is we have a REPL to the IRC server. And of course, if I just Control C it, then everybody will go away, and they're offline now because the IRC server is gone. And if I turn it back on, then it's just there. Okay, so that's my demo.
What a sick demo. People didn't give him a clap? Chat, give him a clap right now. He deserves a clap for this. Retroactive clap, okay? Give it to him a clap right now. Okay? Give him a clap right now. Because that's crazy. They're not even giving him a clap at all. What is going on? What is going on? How are they not doing this? You know what I mean?
Not a very good presenter. Okay. Yeah, so
I'm disappointed with that live
check
chat.
out the
Live
code if
live
you want.
chat,
It's
live
just
crowd.
400 lines or so.
Everyone was in
I
shock
think,
at JavaScript,
This
yeah.
demonstrates that Node abstracts the real problem.
I didn't realize. Like, GitHub was around in 2009? When did GitHub first start? And when did they launch their Gist product? Well, I know. I'm saying like 2008. Okay. Oh, and they did it like right away. Wow. Okay, cool. Okay. It's pretty sick that this link still exists. You know what I mean? Is that not crazy that this link still exists? You just get the code. It's pretty
writing
cool.
an IRC server away. Because if you look at the code of that, it's just, okay, somebody connects. Okay, I have a list of users. Okay, I send this user that message. It's really quite easy to follow, in my humble opinion.
Is he a big
if you try
Vim
to sit
user?
down and write an IRC server, say, in Ruby, I think you'll find it very difficult. Okay, I guess you can use Event Machine, and you might find it okay. But I think that this really abstracts the problem of writing a concurrent server. So if you want to throw together, say, a message queue daemon, start up Node, type out 100 lines of JavaScript, and there's your message queue daemon that,
He is a Vim
does
user?
whatever specific thing that
Maybe
you
we
need
can
it
ask
to
him
do.
about that.
Okay, so just briefly, I talk about the internal design of Node. So Node is not some big monolithic app. It's a bunch of C libraries. That,
I also want to give him NeoVim thanks you. Okay, because bunch of these are very important for us.
in various ways. So the V8 is not a little C library; it's a huge C library. That's by Google, of course. The libev event loop and libeio thread pool are really nice little libraries, and they're both written by Mark Lehman. There's a HTTP parser, which is quite advanced. It could do all sorts of streaming sort of things. That's by me, and a socket library by me too. And then a UDNS is a DNS resolver, which is important. So the way that I do this is there's a lot of system calls that you might do. If you have to access the file system, those system calls, those POSIX system calls can block. And so what I do is I have a thread pool underneath everything. And I say, OK, I want to do this system call. I want to read a directory. I pack it up, and then I send it off to the thread pool. It does stuff, and then it comes back.
Oh, he's on the next slide. Sorry.
Signal
My bad.
handlers, are usually asynchronous from the rest of your execution stack. And this thread pool thing, these things are kind of asynchronous from the main Node.js event loop. And so they have to notify, they have to be marshaled back into the main event loop.
What a crazy hack, dude. That's actually wild. I'm assuming that this probably is not so required anymore because most of these now have non-blocking variants. I have no idea, though. Maybe someone can tell me.
You have to say, OK, wait your turn. All right, now we can process the signal handler. You can't just do it immediately. When the result comes from the event loop, you can't just say, stop everything. We're going to do this. You have to say, OK, all right, now we can process you. And I do this by using a pipe from the thread pool in and from signal handlers in. And you can select on that pipe. Another thing that I did is I'm worried about what happens if you pipe a huge file into Node. So say this file is 200 megabytes and has a list of domain names, and you want to look them all up. So each line is a domain name, and you want to do DNS resolution on them. But you can't block the
that's
DNS
what I
resolution,
figured.
else it's going to be really slow. What you want to do is read it in, stream it into your Node process, read the lines, do the DNS lookups, and they should all be on the same event loop. So
yeah, this is 2009.
The
Yeah,
problem is
agreed.
that in Unix or in any POSIX system, the standard id file descriptor is going to refer to a file. And you can't select on files. You can't add them to your event loop. You can't just read from them because that's going to block. So what you do is you create a pumping thread, and you have a pipe. And so you do these blocking reads from the file, pump them into the pipe, which goes into the main application. And in this way, you can stream data into the server in a non-blocking way with just one extra thread.
Dang.
These are the sort of things that you might have to know about if you were going to write this yourself. You don't have to do that. It's down below the API.
That's perfect. That we're gonna be able to talk to him about it on next week's Top Shelf. Posts. That's funny, Dutchy. I didn't notice that because he's gonna be on Top Shelf next week.
API that the users deal with. If you're interested, look in the source directory at the coupling. Okay, so what's next? I have to fix some API issues. There's various things that are very kind of ugly. I want to have more modularity. I want to have break up the libraries into DLL so that the core node process is very small, and that if you need the HTTP server, you would load a DLL to some shared object to get the HTTP parser, for example. I'm going to include some libraries for like MySQL and Postgres into the core distribution. I need to improve performance. That's always an issue. There's some low-hanging fruit that I know about that we can pick and make it faster. TLS support is on its way, and then finally, I would like to do some sort of web worker-like thing, which would probably just extend the child process object, so that you can create processes and kind of do IPC between them in a nice way. So right now the version is 0.1.17. I will release 0.2, which will be kind of the first.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure. Octagon, yeah. Because it's like before he didn't have to import like net, right? He just had require HTTP create server. But yeah, I think like this is where he's breaking these up into smaller ones, right? So it's like, yeah, that's where we're getting that
version that I would hope that other people would use. At the moment, I think it's a bit hacky, and if you're experimental, then please use it. But if not, then wait for 0.2, and I think that will be good because I will freeze the API, or at least some of it, and so you can kind of build on it with some confidence that I won't change it out from under you. Okay, so yes, any questions?
We'll see if we can even hear the questions, chat. Man, this was a great talk.
So the question is,
nice.
if you make changes to the source file, will it load in those changes? No, but Felix and I have been hacking on this a bit this weekend. It's something I'd like to add. Yes?
Modular reloading, boys.
So the question
2009.
is, what do I do with blocking writes? When you have a socket, there's a write buffer in the kernel, and you can only write so much data to the write buffer before it gets filled up. This kernel can't push out all the data to the network as fast as it wants to. There's some buffer that can possibly fill up. So if you're streaming a file out of the socket to somewhere else, then that can block. In Node, it doesn't block. It buffers the data. It will allocate data internally if you do that. And what you could do is get a callback when the kernel buffer drains. So what you can do if you want to stream a file to somebody, you start sending it, and then you send it, say, a megabyte, which may fill up the buffer, may not fill up the buffer, and then you wait till it drains, and then you send another megabyte. And so in this way, you can stream data. The write buffer will never fill up. What will happen is I'll allocate memory, so in user space. So writes don't block. Yes?
Dude, what if someone was like, what are your thoughts on triangles?
So the question is, what is my stance on CommonJS? So CommonJS, I think, has a lot of good proposals. So the module system I'm using, there's a binary proposal and there's a package proposal, which look very good. At the moment, CommonJS has only ratified, I think, the module proposal and the assert, this testing library proposal. So it doesn't define things like I/O. So I think those discussions will be ongoing. I think there's some people who want it more in a blocking state. I want it more in a vented state, and so we'll fight it out over the next couple months or so.
Made his own new JavaScript runtime and was like, forget CommonJS. All we want is ESM. I guess they didn't have ESM either, though, at the time, right? So it's like, yeah.
Yes? A little bit. I would like to have more money for it. Writing your own open source project requires a lot of effort, and yeah, it needs funding. Yes?
Was NPM around? The Node package manager? Oh, man. Claps at set timeout 5 minutes. That makes more sense now. When was NPM created? What version was Node at the time? (2010). So not yet. A year later, or maybe 6 months later. 6 months later after this. So they didn't have NPM as a concept yet. Great video. Who sent this to me? Shrey. Good job. Good job, Shrey. Okay. Oh, that seemed loud. Sorry, this one seems louder.
Hello.
It's a reasonable question, my cats, but I feel like in terms of did they made it yet for Node, but it is hilarious for like announcing Node. They're like, did they have NPM? Fun watching these two back to back. Agreed.
Hey. So yeah, I kind of wanted to give a different talk about some other stuff, but that wasn't ready, and so this is kind of a makeup talk. It's been some years since Node came out, and it's kind of stabilized, and it's a thing, and it's kind of going in its direction. So I thought I would kind of look back on it and tell you what I think about Node. So, sorry, I'm a little nervous. Excuse my wavering voice. Right, some background. I created Node and managed it through its initial development for a couple of years. And my goal, as you may know, that was really around I/O and
American Rich Harris.
event-driven I/O in JavaScript. And I think that focus was really important in 2009 for getting server-side JavaScript off the ground. Because as we know now, JavaScript is single-threaded and like, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, lost my train of thought. Yeah, JavaScript is single-threaded, blah, blah, blah. That allowed Node to succeed. Right, when I left in 2012, I feel like Node was more or less doing well in the I/O department. Like we had protocols supported like HTTP and HTTPS, and after a massive effort, we ported Node to Windows using like very nice system calls called IOCP, and we were running on Linux and Mac, and it had a relatively small core. I mean, it kind of...
Okay, so he left Node. I didn't realize he left, Ryan left Node in 2012. Does anyone know what Ryan was doing afterwards? The suggestion! Node is a great idea, but it's not a great runtime. That's... is even AI knows, dude. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. That's so funny. I wonder if he says that in this. I think he's gonna say it. I think he's gonna say it. I think he's gonna say it in this video. My guess is he's gonna say it in this video. That's my guess. Yellow F1, you seem to agree. I think that's what's gonna happen. What was Ryan doing after? I don't know what he was doing afterwards.
Out of hand a little bit, but it was okay. And it has somewhat stable API, and NPM was out, and there were people adding modules. I was like, this project is done now. So wrong. Right, I mean, obviously, this is a tremendous
big
effort
crowd.
To keep Node running on everybody's machines as it does today, and keep it updated with JavaScript, and fix the issues with it. And many people have been involved in this effort. Many of them are.
What a sick venue! What the heck? This is so cool.
Machines as it does today, and keep it updated with JavaScript, and fix the issues with it. And many people have been involved in this effort. Many of them are here.
Can you guys read this okay? Do you need me to go a little bit?
Leaving out many important people.
There you go.
So I personally was kind of done with Node and went on to do other things. And it's only really in the last 6 months that I've started using it heavily again, largely because Go came out, and I was interested in servers and doing fast servers, and Go is a better language for doing fast servers, and so there was no need for me to be using Node.
Wow.
But I think actually Node is quite nice. JavaScript is really quite nice. In particular, dynamic languages are very nice, and they're nice for certain things, I should say. I think if you're building a server and you want to really control every aspect of it, absolutely, you want it to be statically typed. But in scientific computing, for example, there's a lot of kind of...
I really want to ask him about Go now. What are your thoughts about Go now? I really am interested. What are your thoughts about TypeScript versus Go? I'm really interested in this.
One-off calculations where you're just kind of, typing into a Jupyter notebook, and you really don't want to hit a type error at that point. You're just trying to plot something, right? There is a time and place for dynamic languages. Prototyping things is another situation. Like, you want to move very fast. You don't want to worry about what the abstractions are. You just want to be dynamic. And JavaScript, obviously, I mean, maybe there's many people that don't agree, but here they do. Is the best dynamic language. Right, using Node is kind of like nails on chalkboard to me at times, just because I see the bugs that I introduced that aren't really bugs at this point. They're just how it works, but they are bugs. And they were design mistakes made that just cannot be corrected now because there's so much software that uses it. And it's I don't know, it offends my sensibilities. It could have been much nicer.
Okay, chat, when this video is done, we'll do a few closing thoughts, and then I need to go because I have a meeting, okay? Don't let me forget. Don't let me get distracted. Don't convince me to play Balatro, etc. Okay? Just Don't let me do that. Okay. All right. So just, I have a meeting after this. Don't let me play Balatro and convince me to do that. Okay. That's not, we cannot do that. All right. I have a meeting at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock my time. 1.5 hours.
So one regret would be that I didn't stick with promises. So promises were added very early, and I foolishly removed them not very long after. With the idea that it should be minimal and promises introduce an extra object into every callback. And I can see my reasoning at the time, but had that gone differently, it might have made the ecosystem around building async await stuff happen faster. Unclear. It's an alternate history that we'll never know. Maybe it was a good thing that promises were removed because it allowed the ecosystem to kind of develop their own tools, and we found the right abstraction. But I have often thought,
yeah, can we play Balatro?
That was a rash decision. Did I say all of this? Yeah. Another regret is security, because JavaScript is a very secure sandbox, unlike Python, right? And unfortunately, in Node, we just bound to everything, and there's zero security, right? You run a Node program, you have access to all sorts of system calls, and that was really a missed opportunity to be able to make.
Dude, these are all things that he's literally like, hey, security. Okay, I fix in Deno. Okay.
Side runtime that could potentially be secure in certain situations. Obviously, if you want to give access to the disk, then people are going to be able to exploit the disk. But there are certain situations where you want to run a program outside of the web browser, but you don't necessarily want it to be able to write to the disk or access the network, right? For example, a linter. It would be nice for me to be able to download the massive code base that ESLint is and run that without having to worry about it taking over my computer, which it could.
Build system.
Probably the biggest regret is the build system.
Okay, I fix in Deno.
It's such a pain. Build systems are very, very difficult and very, very important to building projects. Node uses this thing called JIP. Do you guys know JIP?
Dude, I haven't seen that in forever.
If you're writing a module that links to a C library, you use this thing called JIP to compile that C library and link it into Node, right? JIP is this thing that
Node Jippity.
But Chrome abandoned JIP for this other tool called GN several years later. We couldn't have predicted that, but that's what happened. And now it's been many years since that happened, and Node is the sole user of JIP. It's a very funky interface. It's like a JSON file, but it's in Python. It's very terrible. Node has several wrappers around this. One of them is called Node JIP. It just layers upon layers.
I remember.
Unnecessary complexity. V8 doesn't build with JIP anymore. It has a JIP wrapper to support Node, but I mean, there's just so much unnecessary complexity there. And yeah, frankly, I think this is one of the biggest failures.
Yes, right. Yes, this was why originally build dep for Node was Python, which is hilarious, right? And then half JSON, half Python, 100% monstrosity. Okay.
The Node technical leadership. It should be dealt with. So I think, yeah, I'm not sure which direction would be the right way to go at this point. It's a difficult problem. There's a lot of software to support. But I do think that I kind of made a kind of rash decision in thinking that everybody should compile their extension modules. We could have gone with a foreign function interface, which doesn't require any compiling necessarily, although you still have to have your dependencies there. But I think this could have been a much more natural and easy.
Dude, that was so confusing that you were like, you had some Node thing that you needed to run or whatever, and then your Python system version could mess it up. I barely did anything with Node JIP. I barely remember any of it. Like when I was first starting out, there was some goofy stuff. I don't even remember exactly why I needed it. And like the concept that I was trying to run JavaScript, but my Python was breaking it. Dude, that really got confusing, dude. That really got confusing.
For people who want to link to system libraries. And many people suggested this to me, namely Brian Cantrell, but I totally ignored them. And yeah, libuv moved to auto tools, which is just unacceptable and regrettable. You know who you are. I didn't do that.
Is that an actual, like, did he actually just, was he actually mad?
You know who you are.
He actually looks mad.
And yeah, libuv moved to auto tools, which is just unacceptable and regrettable. You know who you are.
Like people laughed, and then they're like, "Oh, he wasn't joking." Like he legitimately mad. They literally keck waited. That was literally the audience. Oh, he's serious. Someone's getting a call out. Let's go to libuv, search for auto tools, do reverse, and find out who it was. Oh, that's funny.
I didn't do that. That's a regret for somebody else. Right, another thing.
That is like, he's getting back on track. I love that. That's so cool.
JSON, package JSON is like the lifeblood of JavaScript at this point. But, you know, at some point it wasn't. And Isaac of NPM fame more or less defined it, although there might have been some sort of specification. And I largely sanctioned it and made it popular by allowing require in Node semantics to look into package JSON and look through files. So this makes package JSON basically necessary for programs, for Node programs, where it was not before. And then ultimately I included NPM into Node, which made NPM the standard Node distribution service. And yeah, so
interesting. So he's
service. And
so he doesn't like, so interesting things he doesn't like about it. Vision for no additional config file required. Okay, he fixes this. He fixes this with Deno. He doesn't like centralized repo. Interesting. I don't know. Does JSR fix this? Because does JSR really seem like it fixes it? Because it's still centralized, right? And I mean, technically privately controlled, right? Like in the sense that, I mean, maybe they have a foundation. It's like it's one. Oh, but for Deno, you can just do a link. Deno can just do links, right? So you don't even need NPM. You just say like link and then boom, right? So that's another one of the things that he fixes in Deno. Yeah, because Deno can just do URLs. Like it can just do URLs links. So it's like, so it's completely, so it is, Deno is decentralized. JSR is like better NPM in a way, right? But okay, yep.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I have this problem with, this is a little abstract, but in your JavaScript program, right, if you require some module, that doesn't completely specify what that module is. It also needs to be defined in your package JSON. That's part of the module resolution algorithm, like which version it is and whatnot, in order to install it. And you also have this node modules folder, which does the module resolution. So, you know, kind of linking to a package requires a lot.
Did we, JSR is NPM for ESM only and TypeScript first and some other stuff, right? But it's like, okay, why did Ryan Dahl call it Node? Okay. Oh, not this one. We'll maybe watch that tomorrow.
Systems here. A lot of components that is not, oh, what's that?
Oh, dude, I would be so tilted if this happened in the middle of a presentation. Oh, I would be so tilted, dude. This is his public email. But it's like, remember when we showed the auditorium? Like the auditorium is huge. This is like 60. This is like 15 feet big pop-up on this screen. You know what I mean? Like that is it. I would be so tilted, dude. Okay, where did the pop-up go? Oh my goodness. Oh shoot. Not sticking with the promises. Here we go. Oh, it must be over here somewhere.
Have this node modules folder, which does the module resolution. So
that's
kind
too
of
good.
Linking to a package requires a lot of systems here, a lot of components that is not. Oh, what's that? iCloud. Ugh. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, package JSON. I think the problem I have with it is that it gives this rise to a concept of a module as this directory of files, where that wasn't really a concept before. Like we just had JavaScript files. Like on the web, you just have JavaScript files, and you can, script tag include them all over the place. There's no like thing. There's no like module package as there is in NPM. It's not a strictly necessary abstraction. And package.json just has like all this unnecessary noise in it, like license, repository. It's like, why am I filling this out? Like, I feel like a bookkeeper or something. Like, this is just unnecessary stuff to do when all I'm trying to do is link to a library. Yeah, I'll get to relative URLs. And of course, node modules is very big because it kind of
I can't believe it. Even creator of NPM Node agrees with us, boys. Even the creator of NPM, he used the classic meme, dude. Oh my goodness. Hey, but it doesn't matter. He used the meme. It's so good.
kind of has this vendoring by default semantics where modules are installed locally into your project folder. And so you tend to have, if you have multiple projects, you have multiple node modules folders, and it gets big. This was my idea. I regret it. The whole algorithm for resolving module names is just wildly complex. It's kind of been added to over time in ways
And the rest
that
target folder. True.
Regrettable. I feel like the vendored by default idea behind node modules, which is what I was going for there, was kind of had good intentions, right? That we know exactly what we're linking to. It was supposed to be explicit, but in practice, like a node path type thing, a Python path type thing would have worked, right? You can do vendoring that way too. You just set an environmental variable. It deviates greatly from how browsers do stuff, and it's my fault, and I'm very sorry.
Interesting. One of the things I really am interested to get his opinion on more is basically it's not how the browser does stuff. I'm sorry. This is basically right. Let me go back and make sure. I want to get the exact quote. I want to get the exact quote. It just deviates greatly from how browsers do stuff, and it's my fault, and I'm very sorry. That's actually I like getting an exact quote. It's very interesting. I'm going to hear about this.
Deviates greatly from how browsers do stuff, and it's my fault, and I'm very sorry. And unfortunately, it's impossible to undo now.
And unfortunately, it's impossible to undo now. I'm interested. Oh man, it's like JSR, okay, but it's also like NPM support in Deno now. But Deno didn't want this to happen. Who said they had a link to him talking about how he was sad that they support NPM? Because that's not in this one. Okay.
Also, this whole thing where you don't include the extension in the require module. Why? It's like needlessly non-explicit. You now have to like probe the file system for different things. Did you mean .js? Did you mean?
Oh, this is man. I really like this guy. I really like this guy. You cannot omit the JS in a script tag source attribute. It's not how the browser does it. It's like if it was okay, JavaScript came from the browser. We should pick how the browser does something and then keep doing it. Web standards. This is why you see like you go to Deno.com, you go here, runtime for the modern web. Where do they say it here? Web standards. This is like he's been salty about this since way before this. Very interesting. Very interesting. Salty in a good way. Salty in a good way, chat.
.ts? Did you mean .blah blah blah? Like no, just write the extension in there. So I'm glad that you guys agree with me because there is still some debate about this stuff.
He got more claps for that than the dope IRC server thing that he made. Salt my hammies, chat.
People like the extension list thing. It's cleaner. Like, no. Yeah, said all that. Also, index.js. I'm sorry. Okay, I thought it was cute. There's index.html. I thought it would be cute for like, when you include a directory, it would look up the index.js. Sorry, this was like needlessly introduced. What I've come to learn now that I'm aging is that like, whenever you're designing a program, like there's things that you think might be cute to add in.
Okay, slow it down. Get the quote here. Gotta get the quote.
Designing a program, like there's things that you think might be needlessly introduced. What I've come to learn now that I'm aging is that like, whenever you're designing a program, like there's things that you think might be cute to add in. You always regret those. If they are unnecessary and simply cute, like don't do them. My problems with Node are not so much around the I/O, and I like Node. I like programming in it. I think it's relatively nice. It's Unixy.
happened in Deno.
But it's my problems are more.
I type fast. Whoops. Oh no! It was a restart. Sorry, just give me one chance. Oh my goodness. That was so bad.
More to do with the module system and how it manages user code. And I think this is largely because when I was making Node, like, it was very focused on getting this I/O stuff. I was like nerding out hardcore.
Ooh, this is an interesting insight. Nerding out hardcore on how to do evented I/O early on, not focused on, I would say, peripheral items like how to do modules.
Or on like ePoll.
What do you do with Tej? It's not my streamer. Well, we're interviewing him tomorrow. I'm collecting questions and stuff. I use Awesome WM. I can never go beyond 8. Asking me things file system routes are one of those cute ideas. Oh, I love this. Is file system routing one of those cute ideas? I am gonna ask about this. Maybe. It just depends. We'll see how long.
And kind of, yeah, I mean, the module system was essentially an afterthought that got added on as users needed this stuff. And it is reflected in how Node works.
I know. I really choked, didn't I? It's bad. Under 150 is bad, dude.
So yeah, with that in mind, I was, writing up this talk and it seemed very negative. And I thought like, this
No, we're interviewing Ryan tomorrow on Top Shelf with me and Prime.
kind of shitty to like.
And we can go up a little bit.
Like, complain about stuff without like.
No, it was not at 0.5. It was at 1. I was typing his talking speed. Come on, I'm not half speed.
I feel like you should offer some sort of solution or like.
Yeah, I already have this joke in here. Welcome to our guest Ryan Dahl. Happy to have the creator of both Node and Deno here, but I'm wondering when will JS runtimes be done? I'm not sure if I'm going to ask it yet, but I'm thinking about it. Okay.
Like at least a prototype of how things might be differently, or how like Node might be differently if you designed it today. And all I'll say is that like, don't try out this code. It's very, very unusable at this moment. It does not do anything. And unless you are well versed in LLDB,
yeah, I know.
You should.
Well, hopefully my version would have been more. You can say the same joke, but you can say it a different way, and it can be funnier or less funny, right? So like, I think my version is more funny than just saying like Node Deno done. You know what I'm saying? When on Top Shelf, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Is Prime still streaming? He is okay. ASMR reverse proxy time. He needs to make a Discord event for it. Whatever, we'll do it for next time.
Try building it. But that said, you might want to check out Deno.
Deno?
Secure.
Deno?
But that said, you might want to check out Deno.
Oh, everyone's been saying it wrong this whole time? A dinosaur. They call it Deno now. We're gonna have to find. I'm gonna need to find. Gonna need to find a more up-to-date video to check on this. Okay. They said Deno in the new video. I'm on the case, boys. I'm on the case. I'm on the case right now. Deno. I'll just type Deno into here really quick.
Hi, I'm Ryan Dahl. You might know me as the creator of Node.js. As a programmer, I like things that are simple. really simple. Programming should be simple. That's why I created Node. But these days, Node is not simple.
When is he gonna say Deno?
Just ask Rachel. She's been here for days.
Setting up TypeScript is an easy 47-step process. First, you take a tsconfig file. Today's here and add an ES in front of it. Becomes a JavaScript target. Don't forget Al Gore.
And here's Steve commemorating the 20th test framework he's recently learned.
This is a good video. We'll just watch the video.
Okay, I'm good.
Getting Node APIs to work in the browser can be...
Guys, you guys care way too much about screen tearing. Who cares?
Security is also a nightmare. NPM packages have access to everything.
It doesn't matter at all.
Come here.
I'll put it on a different screen, fine.
But you can be a faster, more productive developer with Deno, the simplest way to program. Deno comes with TypeScript, all-in-one tooling, and web standard APIs, so you can...
Wait, I wasn't paying attention. Because did he say Deno or Deno? I wasn't paying attention. You guys were distracting me. I see the screen tearing too. I don't care at all. It just doesn't bother me at all. Guys, I'm 30. I'm old, okay? It just doesn't bother me at all.
A productive developer with Deno.
Deno.
The simplest way to...
Okay, we have to ask him. We have to ask him. In 2018, you pronounced it Deno. When did you convert to calling it Deno? That's what I need to know. Yeah, I was born in 1994. That's correct. Well, Deno because dinosaurs. That doesn't even make any sense at all. It's pronounced dinosaurs, not dinosaurs. Flip-flopper confirmed. I like this. Like, how can we trust anything you say? You don't even you can't even pronounce Deno the same way you started.
We want to make it great. Deno is a runtime.
Deno. Okay. Oh, we need to watch this keynote too. Okay, we'll watch this keynote as well. Tomorrow though. Deno source. Node.sort. Deno. Are you in Limogen, not on Wayland? No. I don't even know anything about those kinds of things. Okay. All right, we're back.
Is a secure TypeScript runtime on V8, working on the tagline.
Deno
not
source.
So sure about that. So this is a new piece of software. It's 1 month old, but let me
just call it Dino. The creator of Node.js and Dino joins us today. Ryan Dah. Node.js.
This is just kind of me riffing on what I think would be a nice server-side JavaScript runtime these days. Obviously, evented.io is taken for granted. Yes, obviously we want to do that. We have to do that. What else is important? So for one, security. It would be nice to utilize the fact that JavaScript is a secure
Call him
sandbox.
Roald
By
Dahl.
default, the script should run without any network or file system write access, and that users can then opt into various access. So if you want to allow it to access the network, you do -- allow net. Right? And so this allows people in some situations where you have, and I think this is...
Just never pronounce it the same way. Deno, Dino, Dino, Deno. Oh, no, obviously I'm not going to do this, chat. If I was, it would be different if me and Ryan were friends, like ahead of time, like we've interacted a lot, then I would consider trolling him in this way. Obviously, we're not going to do that. Because I don't know him well enough, like personally, to do that. So I'm gonna call it Deno. They call it Deno. I'm gonna call it Deno. All of the Topshelf like Hunk on Earth for devs, I don't know what that is. Not yet. Sure, if we became friends and we have him come back on again, obviously Deno, Deno. Deno JS. I didn't know. What about you?
more common than you might realize. You have some code that you just want to run without giving it any sort of, without giving it much access to the system that you're running on. And this allows you to do that via the fact that JavaScript is a runtime. We just don't we don't allow the
I do want to ask him, when did he switch from pronouncing it Deno to Deno, though?
the system
Yes, Deno is node sorted. Yes, that is the joke, indeed.
to reach into the operating system. We don't allow V8 to reach into the operating system. Yeah, and I don't allow arbitrary native functions to be bound into V8. All system calls are done through message passing, so there's a single entry point in and out of the VM. Unlike Node, where it's just bound all over the place, and it's very difficult to keep track of what is happening because there's no single entry point. And this has caused a lot of problems when trying to do things like domains. And okay, so there's this way of like sending messages back and forth. So inside the V8 that you get, there's only really two native functions. There's send and receive. Receive takes a callback, sends a message. And I think I've always thought for many years that like having this sort of message passing thing would have been nice in Node. And so here's like a vague description of what it is. So you have like the Deno process, which is written in Go at the moment, although I'm debating on whether that's the right choice. And you have V8 running there.
Oh, we gotta ask him
there's
about
send and
this.
receive, calls that are bound into V8, and it can send and receive protobuf messages, right? They're just buffer arrays, array buffers. And there's a dispatcher that kind of like sends out messages to various different modules. So
Sorry,
these
Cat's
modules
code.
can kind of, on both sides of the kind of privileged and unprivileged boundary, kind of sync up, and you know, the Go side can handle the system calls and turn, you know, your request for a set timeout into a sleep or whatever. And in V8 you have a similar module system. Inside of V8 itself, you have the TypeScript compiler actually like built into this whole executable. I love TypeScript. It is the best thing. It is Microsoft. I don't actually know the people who did this work at Microsoft, but man, it is very pragmatic and well done and approachable. And I just love the fact that you can, you know, start hacking in normal JavaScript and just slowly kind of build your project up. This was kind of one of the goals of Dart. Do you guys know Dart? Yeah. Total failure. Like, Jesus. I mean, very good intentions and very cool, but obviously a failure.
You guys know Dart? Total failure. What a ball. You guys know Dart? Total failure. I mean, good intentions, but total failure. To 600,000 people, dude. Oh, to 600,000 people. Total failure. Do you still think so? I'm not gonna ask him this, but it's so funny.
Here at this point. And TypeScript took a totally different approach to the problem and worked completely in JavaScript, and I think, you know, solved it in a way that is satisfying many people. So if you have not been using TypeScript, like, please check it out. I want this thing to do
that did age
because I like it.
That aged very well. Now it's like, you guys know Dart? Actually, I don't.
Yeah, and so also Deno, I want to simplify the module system. So screw all this stuff about you know, how node modules work and that. Like, but by the way, I can't be compatible with Node. Like, otherwise, like, you just end up building Node. So there's no attempt at compatibility with existing software.
Oh wow. Okay, interesting. Go back, slow it down. Let me get the quote.
You know, how node modules work and that, like, but by the way, I can't be compatible with Node. Like, otherwise, like, you just end up building Node. So there's no attempt at compatibility with existing software. This is mostly just an attempt at compatibility with existing software. This is mostly just a thought experiment, right? But I think it would be cute if you just
He just said you think it would be cute. Uh-oh.
just a
Uh-oh, he just said don't do it, though.
Right? But I think it would be cute if you just import via where the source code came from, as you do in the web, right? There's a source file there. You link to that source file, and now you've linked it into your program. If it's a relative...
Okay, but that's a reason. He gave another reason. He didn't say exclusively because it's cute. He gave a reason. So that doesn't break his rule. It was cute and useful, so then it's fine.
You do a relative include.
Oh, what is LLDB? It's a thing for debugging. It's like, because he's writing stuff not in JavaScript land.
obviously you should provide an extension.
Seems like a good virus obtaining system. Why would this be more likely for viruses? Wouldn't you have it more likely when you have to, like, you just write something and you auto upgrade to a particular version and a bunch of other super scuffed things? That's like, this is way in I think probably both in practice and in theory safer than just saying like, oh, I'm going to import from XYZ and I have a star as my package specification. Oopsie, someone updated it. Oops, now I downloaded the new one. Oops, we just installed the crypto miner. Like, this way it seems better, generally speaking.
And then you might be wondering, well, I don't want this source code like changing out from under me. This seems fishy. Well, it won't.
Why not have it locally in the SSD so it's loaded faster? Do you think it downloads it every time they run the program?
So the first time you do this, if you don't have that URL loaded, then it downloads it and it caches it somewhere. And then it never updates that again. When you run it again, it's still using the same code. However, you can do a -- reload as you do in the web browser when you, that's my Control R hand signal.
That's so funny.
So you can do -- reload, and it has a similar semantics where it'll then do like a hard reload of all the cache files. And yeah, you can do vendoring and stuff by giving it a different place where it downloads these files. I think this is viable. TypeScript compiler built into it, blah, blah, blah. I already said that. Deno hooks into...
Wow. TS is absolutely beautiful. Okay, we gotta get more info on this. All security. Say I have a quantum computer that you're trusting that. Oof. What? You can still use file paths. I am so confused. What is the alternative you're proposing? Because the alternative you're proposing is not downloading anything at any point along the way. I literally do not understand what your suggestion is. Like, how do you think node modules work? What? TS is absolutely beautiful. It has finally delivered a practical, optionally typed language. Allows code to grow seamlessly from quick hacks to large, well-structured machinery. Interesting. Zero dependencies, no vulns.
Yeah, so I mean, basically TypeScript should work out of the box, and obviously JavaScript should still work out of the box, but that's trivial because TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript. And
letter pigeons,
yeah,
smart,
at the moment,
smart.
Startup time is quite slow. It's like at 1 second, which is completely unacceptable. However, I am working on using V8 snapshots to snapshot the entire compiler, and I am, plus other optimizations that haven't been done, I'm fairly confident that it can be improved greatly.
Yeah, I don't need anyone else to tell me how to write mine. I can do it.
So Deno...
Alternative wording, I'm in love with a linter.
Also, I don't like shipping all of these files. I hate that. I think it should be a single executable, so it should be...
That's what I'm saying. All of things... So, guys, here's what you have to understand. Everything has trade-offs, so you can only compare things to each other, not in a vacuum. So, you got to compare it to what the other options are.
An executable that doesn't link to too many things, right? So you can just download this executable and run it. And yeah, just generally take advantage of the fact that we're in the future now, and like things are great. So for example, in the build process in Node, there's this very complicated setup of like kind of defining require, and we have all these files, and we have to build them into a bundle, blah, blah, blah. We have to load them all into the V8. But now we have parcel, which is really great, by the way. So what I can do is I can write kind of a normal Node program structure for the internal systems.
Oh, package, don't get me wrong, not hating on Node, it's good. Well, I mean, this guy's talking about Deno, but he built both, so.
And then I can run parcel on it, compile it into a single thing, use it, and that will use, Node's module resolution scheme and stuff, but now I have a single bundled JavaScript file, and I can just dump that into V8. So that makes like the whole process of building this thing much simpler. Great infrastructure exists now in native code, right? Part of Node was like writing a web server. Like we spent a lot of time on the HTTP parser. Like, there's no need to do that. Like that's all done at this point. You can, if this ends up being Go, then you just link into Go's HTTP routines, which are super good, or maybe I'll use Rust or C++. In either situation, there are.
Oh, he was considering C++. Where do we put Go here? Go Rust. I mean Rust. There we go. was considering C++, what made you make the obvious choice not to do that? Okay.
To link into
What's up, Sam?
high-level native code these days. And I
Yes, for Midwest,
really
yeah.
eases the job of this thing. And some miscellaneous.
Are we going to interview someone? We're going to interview Ryan Dahl tomorrow on the podcast.
Things like just die immediately when you have an unhandled promise. I mean, like who has ever wanted to like, oh, maybe I'll add a catch handler later, like, and I don't want this to die immediately. No, like it should die as soon as it gets an error. Should support top-level await. I haven't got it working yet, but it's not hard. And yeah, be browser compatible. Like in Node, like you know, I remember thinking.
Why do they have these lights? What is happening? Who is in charge of lighting here? Why is he getting lights shown into his eyes? What? What? Guys, turn this off.
Is a really dumb variable name for the global scope. Like, why call it window? It's not a window. It should be called global. Yeah, I don't know. That was a mistake because now we have this whole like incompatibility issue with the browser. So like where Deno will overlap with the browser, it should use the browser semantics, the browser variable names, the browser functions and whatnot. So yeah, check it out maybe. I don't know. It's a prototype.
Wow, this is only a month after he made it. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think I'm mildly happy with it so far. Yeah, if you have any comments or questions, I guess you can't ask them me now, but please email me. And yeah, I don't know, first person to implement an HTTP server gets a star. This is the end of my talk. I still have 3 minutes left, so thanks. Me now, but please email me. And yeah, I don't know, first person to implement an HTTP server gets a star. This is the end of my talk. I still have 3 minutes left, so thanks for having me here.
I love it. I cannot wait to talk to him. Oh my goodness. No, I love the like. I have 3 minutes left. This is the end of my talk. See you guys. That's so funny. Oh, I love that. Go to your meeting. I don't have to yet. It's at 4, so I have 45 minutes. We still have a little bit of time left. But thank you though. Yeah, we're still on track. Yeah, I thought this was longer. Does this must forward now? Oh, forked from Deno land Deno. Point to Deno land repo. Deno. Nice. Balatro? Okay. We will watch. I don't know if I'll watch this one on stream. I guess 6 months ago is better. Like, I know Honeypot does a lot of work to put these together, so I'm not sure if we'll watch this on stream or not. I don't know. I might just watch this tonight. So I'm not sure yet. Okay. I love that. It's a good one. It sounds good. This is so cool. I like this one a lot. We'll keep this one. We'll come back to this later. Oh, we need to watch their keynote. Here we go. Let's just start this one. This vid? This one? Which one? Honeypot? Boom. Okay. Oops. I didn't want... Ah! There we go. You can ask Ryan what he thinks about other runtimes. I might. We'll put it in thoughts on other runtimes. I really don't want... So one thing, my goal as an interviewer is I don't want to put people into a situation where they're very uncomfortable or not... where it's a difficult answer in a not good way, right? So I don't know if I want to put him in that spot, so I'm not sure. Not this one. I think that was React one, but right. So it's kind of like, so I just right. Well, and like also I don't think hardball is better for getting clickbait views. That's literally not the point, right? You actually don't usually get good answers from that situation. You're getting something else, right? So it's like, ask him about the opinion on the creator of Node.js. That's funny. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Ask before you're live. Yeah. So my goal with Top Shelf is we get the best interview from the person as we can get, right? Where they can give their best opinion and their best ideas. I don't think those kinds of like gotcha questions are super fun, even if they make great clips and we could get lots of views. That's really like the opposite of the vibe that I'm going for. All right, we'll watch this. We'll watch this for a little while. We watched most of this already.
Seven-step process. First, you take a TS config this year.
He's recently learned.
Where were we? We were about here. We'll go from here.
Frustrating. Security is also a nightmare. NPM packages have access to everything.
Come here.
But can you ask him who made the trailer? This? You're saying?
But you can be a faster, more productive developer.
Like, who made this trailer, you're saying? Oh, yeah, we could ask, I could ask about the, we can maybe ask about producing the super awesome trailer / commercial for Programming Made Simple. Or Programming Should Be Simple. That's, this trailer is the reason I was like, Prime, we need to interview him right now. This is awesome. I want to talk about him. Watch this on 1x. Okay, we can watch this on 1.
With Deno.
I think it's sandwich.co.
Deno comes with TypeScript, all-in-one tooling, and web standard APIs, so you can write once and run anywhere.
Anywhere?
Anywhere.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to check them out.
Deno is secure by default, so every dependency doesn't have full access to your computer.
It looks like it must. I don't.
And you don't have to give up the packages you love from NPM.
They don't have anything in here.
Yeah.
Did you guys? This has to be a joke though about Bun, right? Right, like it has to be. Oops.
And many more. So join hundreds of thousands of developers using Deno, because programming should be simple.
I was trying to figure out when is 5,541 days? Is that when he made Node or something, or what? Bun does support next, so that's a joke. Interesting. I was wondering what was the significance of this. Ooh, it would be fun to ask him what's his favorite Easter egg from the trailer. $15 years? Okay, so it's probably when Node was created. Is he saying he made it so that programmers didn't enjoy writing? Wait, did he accidentally diss himself? Oh, man. Because surely he thinks at some point towards the beginning parts of it were fun. Anyways, okay.
Hi, my name is Ryan Dahl, creator of Node.js and Deno. Today, we're releasing our biggest update yet, Deno 2. Let's go check it out. JavaScript is the world's default programming language. It's deeply rooted in human infrastructure because it's part of the web.
Wow, is this real? Most used programming languages. What is this most used by? People programming? Repos? What? It's, yeah, it just says GitHub state of the Octoverse. I know. Read now. Where can I read? Okay. Repositories, developers. Number of developer accounts. Where is JavaScript? Because I don't care about how many repos there are. That's a terrible metric. Like economies, max 15 rank, Python, JavaScript, Python, shell. TypeScript coming up top. Okay, interesting. The only question is, where's OCaml? Not even on the list. That hurts. We're gonna change that, boys. We're gonna change that. Dudes writing C# don't know what GitHub. Yeah. Octaverse is GitHub's thing. Who, Camel? Don't worry, guys.
or CSS,
Like, we got it.
And it's not going away anytime soon. It's going to be here 5, 10 years from now, if not 20 years from now. And because of that, we are building on JavaScript. We want to make it great. Deno is a runtime for JavaScript development. It natively supports TypeScript as well, and it's tries to narrow the gap between browser JavaScript and server-side JavaScript. It uses web
Who,
standards,
Camel,
TS
is pretty
modules,
funny.
Fetch API, all sorts of stuff. It is an all-in-one toolchain for JavaScript development that's really batteries included. It has all of the utilities you need. It's secure by default and backwards compatible with Node, and we'll see that in action. Deno is the simplest way to get started programming TypeScript.
That backwards compat with Node. Okay, did someone say they had a link for where he said he regrets having to add it? Ocantle?
Can really just open a single file. You don't need to create a package.json or have a node modules folder. A single file is all you need to get started. Let's see that in action. I'm going to create a ls program.
That cut though, dude.
Files in a directory, and let's see how that looks in Deno. Let me just create a main TS file, and let's open up VS Code. So
sorry, I wasn't fast enough to bleep that, chat. VS. Okay, next.
To list the files in a directory, there's an API called readdir, deno.readdir. This is one of the built-in Deno APIs, and it takes a path as an argument. You can see kind of the built-in documentation working here, and the built-in language server.
Oh, he's using Vim motions.
Kind of giving me a red squiggly because I don't have any arguments. So I'll give just the current directory dot as the argument to start with. And this thing is this command, this function returns an async iterable that lists the elements in the files in the current directory. Let's try to loop over these using an async.
I had Lee Rob come on stream and we talked for like an hour or 2 hours about Neovim.
Await cons entry of deno.readdir, and for now let's just console log that entry out. So if we run deno main ts, you'll see the secure by default.
I think the whole thing made it onto this one. I don't know why we where's our this one, I think, right here. Speaking of shilling, it's oh yeah, this like whole thing pretty much is. We probably should have cut this after here, but whatever. There you go.
Permission prompt in action here. So we're trying to access the file system. Deno doesn't allow you to do that unless you explicitly give it permission. You need to give it the allow read flag or say yes at this prompt. If you do, it will work. But often you don't want to click through a bunch of permission prompts. You probably want to give the allow read flag that lets you do this, or the shorthand version of that is -R to give the allow read permission. Let's expand this a little bit. Instead of using dot as the hard-coded directory that we're going to list, let's actually take an argument from the command line. So we'll use deno args0 here. And we can, of course, do dot, or we could do
I can't see it if I put it down there.
That has a bunch of files in it, like this one. Let's abstract this a little bit further, turn this into a function.
Okay. I'm not substituting, so sorry. It's okay. It is where all the VODs go, though. All the VODs get a little sliced up. We skip some of the extra stuff. You know, these kind of things. Upload it. Boom, boom, boom. So it's just throwing it out there. Why introducing new goals from our time don't have as importables? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know where you would require them from, though. I just got to say, Deno people, if you're watching this VOD later, you got to bump the font size by 4 times this. You got to bump the font size by 4. Okay?
Function. So tree, we'll call it tree, and let's say it takes an argument called dir, that's a string, and let's say this tree function just returns a bunch of strings in an array of each of the file names.
For a casual interview. That's where you're wrong. It's not a casual interview. I'm taking Topshelf serious, guys. We're gonna... Is this the first video?
That loop.
Well, guys, they clearly have a crazy sick setup. They have everything going, so they've got to be... I'm just telling them, got to make this bigger.
Up here, and
like even here,
some red squigglies here from the language server.
This is not that big.
Is saying that we're doing a for await loop outside of an async function. So let's just add an async here. By the way, you can see these same errors if you do deno check. So just to back up a
bit,
like
this needs to be up here. There needs to be some space down here.
Do deno check main ts where you can see these same errors.
4 times bigger. Yeah, sorry, nerd. I know I didn't put a trigger warning before that.
It is complaining because I'm not returning a promise. Of course, it's an async function, so let's add...
wow, I need this effect. It's quiet. I can turn it up. Yeah. Let's make this effect right now. Add. Primary. Stream. Opacity. Oh, hey, it's me. Let's add video capture. Add existing. Properties. Let me think. Oh, I need to add a filter to this. Filters. I don't know what this is. There's probably an opacity one, right? Render delay. Nope. Luma key, image mask blend, crop, pad, color key, color correction, chroma key. I don't know, something like this. Can I just put it all the way to here, but then we go like this? Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking. I want it to go the other way. Oh, now here we go, boys. Here we go. Yes. Yes. I'm in the terminal. I'm in the terminal. Oh, now we're programming. Yep, we're just writing some camel. Oh, yeah, nice. We're just gonna. Okay, we're keeping this one. This is gonna be. This one's gonna stay. Now do monkey type. Monkey type. No! Oh, I was so close. Dang it. Dang. It was so, You still need to inverse it horizontally. For what occasion will this scene be used? I don't know. I just like it. True. I need a side camera angle like this. Yeah. Yes. 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 Okay.
Promise there.
Does terminal chat have required on minimal words per minute? Yeah.
And it's still complaining because I'm not actually returning anything. So const out equals empty array, and we'll just push out. And entry is actually an object. Let's actually output the name of the name of the file there, and we'll return.
Wow, look at this. This is crazy cool. I actually really like this. They just need the font to be much bigger. That's where they're making a mistake.
Return out at the end, and then of course we need to call this thing. So let's say await.
I've got a DAC domain
and
form.
We'll do Deno args 0 here, and let's just console log out those files. And I'm realizing that I'm actually not using the argument here. I should change this to a and yeah, it's red squiggly because I'm missing a parentheses. Okay, so how does that look? Yeah, all right. So now we've kind of abstracted this out into.
They even have part of the terminal cut off.
Deno is an all-in-one runtime, and it combines a lot of disparate tooling that you need in the Node ecosystem into a single binary. Deno is literally a single file. So, for example,
Deno Book Pro. That's so funny. Nix, that's such a good one, dude. That's really funny.
Use prettier in Node to format your code. In Deno, it's just Deno format. Or for type checking, you might use TSC.
Ooh, I love this sound.
Your code. In Deno, it's just Deno format. Or for type checking, you might use TSC. In Deno, it's just Deno check. Or maybe you use ESLint in Node. You can do the same thing with Deno lint, and many more. Let's take a look at one of these subcommands in more detail.
Bwomp. Is the Deno compiler custom for TS? I think they embed TSC or something. We can talk about how does Deno do. I think it was like 37 in our school that I don't. Does Deno include its own type checker, or is it TypeScript, or is it TSC embedded somehow? Okay.
So this actually takes your JavaScript and bundles it together with the runtime and creates a binary output, just called the Deno compile subcommand.
They use TSC? That's what I figured.
It has created this.
It's still worth talking about how that actually is set up, though.
This demo file here, which is a ARM64 Macintosh executable file, and we can just call that like we would any other program. Of course, we need to give a proper file name here, and it works as normal. So you can distribute this without Deno, and it will continue to work indefinitely. It doesn't depend on any other files. One cool feature of Deno compile is that it can actually cross-compile. So if you do -- target, it will give you a list of
What? That's pretty sweet.
possible
That's pretty cool.
platform targets that you can give to it. Let's try to cross-compile this program for Windows. So we'll do an x64 Windows binary, if I can spell target correctly. And as you can see,
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. 60 megabyte hello world doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Literally doesn't matter one bit.
we now have a demo.exe
TC is written in JavaScript. I think so, yeah.
file that is appropriate for running on Windows. I don't have a Windows computer here, but suffice it to say this demo.exe is appropriate for running on Windows. But you could do all of that with Deno 1. Let's talk about Deno 2. Deno 2 is a revamp in multiple areas: ecosystem compatibility, package management, and enterprise features. Let's start with ecosystem compatibility. One of the things I've heard the most from users of Deno is that they love how simple Deno is. They don't have to have any configuration. They can just get started with TypeScript. But inevitably, they come across some existing node project that they need to...
Yeah, Mark, it's easier to get Rust to TypeScript and then transpile it than it is to get Rust onto different architectures.
interact with, whether it's an NPM library or some existing project. Deno 2 is fully backwards compatible with Node when using ESM. And Deno 2 understands your package JSON, Node modules, and NPM workspaces. NPM packages are supported, even complex ones like gRPC or ones that use native extensions, the so-called NAPI. This allows you now in Deno 2 to incrementally adopt Deno without doing an overnight stop the world full migration. To
Smart.
see a
Very
complex
important.
Node application running in Deno, let me show you create next app.
Very
So
smart.
create
You
next
got to
app,
do it.
Of course, creates kind of a
You gotta do it.
Next.js application. And normally you would do npx create next app. In Deno here, I'm actually going to Deno-a npm create next app. And yeah, we're going to run kind of the creation script. And let's choose all the default options here. And wait a second while npm installs it. Takes a while because
Is that
NPM
my
slow.
background ringing?
We'll see how to alleviate that in a second. Takes a
You
while
guys probably
because
can't hear it.
NPM is slow.
I have a filter on the mic and audio thing.
We'll see how to alleviate that in a second.
Yeah. I think it's on this video, but I have a filter going through my mic
Possibly
thing, so you
internet
guys
slow.
shouldn't hear it anyways. But yeah.
Possibly I don't have internet. Okay, no, I do have internet.
I
It
love
is actually forking out to Node and using
I love how they left it in of him being like, dude, Node's so slow. Maybe I don't have internet. Like, it's a recording, I think, right? Or maybe it was live, I guess. But it's still, the video is really low for it. I'll turn it up a little. I'll turn it up a little for you.
NPM. But when we're done, we finally have this my app folder
Is that better?
with a Node modules folder in it, of course, and a package JSON, a typical create next app. In Deno now, Deno understands all of these things. So you can run Deno task and you'll see a list of available commands here like Deno dev and build and start and lint. Let's run the dev server now with Deno. So Deno task dev will actually start the Next.js dev server here at port 3000. And yeah, you can see it running. Just to kind of clarify that this is...
You know who you are. You know who you are. It's so awesome.
working correctly. Let's just edit this page TSX file and we'll just say get started by editing and running Deno instead.
Look at chat. He forgot. He forgot. They were like, hey, you're supposed to use VS Code for this. And he was like, oh, hey, I started this. And he started using NeoVim. They're like, hey, you need to use VS Code for this so that you can, like, that they can see what you're doing and it's there, right? And then he's like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. He does it for the first demo, and then 15 minutes in, he's forgotten. He's forgotten.
Here. And yeah, hot module reloading works. All of this is being executed by the Deno runtime. It's not just Next, Remix, Astro, and many other frameworks are supported by Deno.
Oh, I love that. That's such a sweet
In addition to full
camera
backwards
view.
compatibility with Node applications, all Deno programs can now import Node libraries in the form of NPM packages without requiring a package JSON or Node modules folder.
What? Did I see what? Did I see what? He has an alias to Vim. Yep. He's a longtime Vimmer. We saw him using Vim in the 2009 one. No, so that's what I'm saying. He uses... Dude, obviously he uses NeoVim. This is not the default NeoVim experience here that he does when he opens
Just
this
to
up.
kind of clarify that this is working correctly.
Like that is a
Let's just
configured.
edit this page TSX
That
file
is a
and,
configured. A configured NeoVim, Chad. He has opinions, you know.
we'll just say
I
get
love
started
it.
by editing and write Deno instead here. And yeah, hot module reloading works. All of this is being executed by the Deno runtime. It's not just Next, Remix, Astro, and
Well, I knew that he used Vim in the 2009 video, but we weren't sure if he had abandoned us for the VS experience. Are you not cool if you use Vanilla Kickstart? Vanilla Kickstart. I love that as a genre. We've got Vanilla JS, Vanilla TypeScript, Vanilla Next.js. I use more of a Vanilla Bun kind of guy and a Vanilla Kickstart.
and many other frameworks are supported by Deno. In addition to full backwards compatibility with Node applications, all Deno programs can now import Node libraries in the form of npm packages without requiring a package.json or Node modules folder, and secure by default execution is maintained. Let's take a look at this in action with
Vanilla
our LS
Linux,
example here,
aka
and
Pop
let's
OS.
just try to make some color output using the npm chalk library. To do that in Deno, you can just do import chalk from npm:/chalk. Note auto formatting is happening in the background, and we can just use chalk as normal. So chalk, say BG blue for a blue background, and files is actually an array. So let's just kind of join that with
look, he's back in VS because they're like, you're supposed to use this, right? But he, oh right. Okay, my bad.
So
oh, my Kickstarter video got you very cool biodegradable. Welcome.
No. Main TS running this again will hit this permission prompt. So what's happening is that chalk is trying to access various environment variables. Force color here, let's allow that by saying yes. TF build, let's allow that. Term, CI, Team City version, color term. If we say yes to all of those, we do finally get the proper output here with blue background color. We can avoid those permission prompts by adding in allow env flag, and then we don't get those.
See, like,
or
look at,
just
they got
dash
the bottom
E
of it's
for
blocked
short,
out here.
Deno-RER. But actually, there's a better way to do this in Deno. Let me show you how you can get color output, just as an example of kind of how Deno uses web standard APIs, how you can get color output in a way that also works in web browsers. So console log %c actually allows you to supply some CSS. So we'll do files /n, and we can just say background color. Let's change it to red for.
This is 1080p,
and this should give us our red background ls for whatever reason you might want that. This doesn't actually read any environment variables, so we can.
What the heck is this? Okay, here we'll go to a new console, console.log %c hello world, background color pink. What? Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to pull this out, and I'm gonna freaking just, I know something about JavaScript you don't know. I know something about the browser you don't know. Oh, I'm gonna get him, chat. I'm gonna get him. Oh, TJ, he's not really much of a web dev. Oh yeah, then explain this, losers. Oh, we got him. We got him, boys. Oh, we've got him now.
We can remove the allow env flag from the execution. Just to recap, in Deno 2, you can run existing Node applications. Deno now understands your package.json and Node modules folders out of the box.
That was a cool fact. That's a cool fact.
Deno allows you to use the full breadth of NPM libraries in your Deno code without any configuration and allowing them to be secure by default. And that's ecosystem compatibility. Now let's talk about package management.
Okay, we're going to have to pick this up tomorrow, chat, or tonight. Here's the MDN lore. Because I gotta get ready for my meeting. Very important meeting. What are the odds Prime remembered? Oh, no. Oh, well, maybe it's fine. The meeting got moved. Okay. I need to schedule this in the same. Okay, well, I gotta tell Prime we don't have our meeting. Twitch, the Prime again. At the Prime again. Our meeting is canceled. No need to quit stream in 10 minutes. P.S. I know you already forgot about the meeting anyways. Okay, so there's that. Why? How can this have so many stupid, just like pop-ups to chat? No, he's oh my. He's not paying attention. There we go. Saved. Salvaged. Salvaged. Okay. Bye. Okay. Isn't he ASMRing right now? Yeah, and he almost quit stream. This is why I check emails and Prime doesn't check emails, and we're okay. All right. Very cool. So we're all set now. We're all set now. Okay. Bye. All right, let me go pee. Let me take the dog out. Let me go get a little bit of coffee, and then we'll be back, and we can watch more of this now. Maybe we can even finish this today. Okay, I'll be right back. Give me a few minutes, chat. I'll give you guys some tunes while we're waiting. That song's pretty good. There we go. Okay. All right, I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, had to take doggo pee. Got some candy corns, and got a little more coffee.
Modules. We've added 3 new subcommands to help you manage these. They're really similar to NPM. You should basically immediately know what they do. Deno install, Deno add, and Deno remove. Deno install inspects your package JSON and installs dependencies, but really, really fast. When you have a package JSON, Deno will install your dependencies in the node modules folder, creating one in your project tree.
Topic for what? What do you mean topic?
If you don't have a package JSON, it will look at your Deno JSON file, find any dependencies in an import map, and cache those globally. Deno add and Deno remove are really simple subcommands that add and remove dependencies from a package JSON or Deno JSON file.
Let's take a deeper look at Deno install. We're back in our Create Next app, where we have a node modules folder that Create Next app created. Actually, npm install created this. Create Next app ran npm install. This is a folder that has roughly 319 megabytes of dependencies. Let's see what Deno install does by just removing this directory and then running Deno install. It happens really fast. Now we have a new node modules folder with the same size as before. And of course, you can run Next.js by running Deno task dev. That's what Deno install does.
But if this was all there was to package management in Deno, this would be pretty disappointing, which is why it's not.
319 megs?
JSR, the successor to NPM. JSR is a new package registry where you can publish JavaScript code and share it with people. And it's not just JavaScript. TypeScript is also supported. JSR is meant for the future. It is a registry that is not just for Node, but for all JavaScript runtimes. And we need a registry that can support all of those different runtimes. JSR only supports ECMAScript modules, not CommonJS, so kind of forces you into the future in a certain way.
Can you use JSR in the browser? Can I just link it as a script tag? Like, is this a thing? Deno, Node.js, Cloudflare workers. Nice. Yeah. Are you guys enjoying the course? Love to hear that people are making their way through it. So maybe it doesn't seem like it. I thought maybe you'd be able to like put a script tag in and just load it, but I don't know.
And is really designed to work with NPM and not against it. So meaning that the packages in JSR can actually have NPM dependencies. So in a sense, it's a superset of NPM. JSR, of course, provides really great developer experience for consumers and publishers of packages, and we'll see that in a second. Deno standard library has been developed over the past 4 years. It's a great set of utility functions in all sorts of areas, and we have now stabilized the Deno standard library to 1.0 and published it to JSR. Also, this set of libraries is not just for Deno now. You can actually import a lot of the standard library modules in Node and other runtimes. So instead of needing to know all sorts of different NPM packages, you can actually just use the standard library. And my hope is that this can serve as a base and help level up JavaScript. So for example, instead of using jest, you might use testing, or instead of using chai, you could use expect, or for command line flag parsing, maybe instead of using minimist, you can just use CLI, or instead of Lodash, use collections. And many other packages are available. Let's make use of one of these standard libraries, the file system library, and we'll try to use that to improve our LS demo. So let's just go to the JSR
I'm interested.
website.
I'm kind of wondering, like, what am I thinking about? Do you envision, right? Like this, right? The Deno standard library becoming a de facto standard library for all JS runtimes? And obviously that would probably be good for them, right? Like, obviously it would be good for Deno if that happened. But I was like, is that like a goal? Or maybe is that a goal? I don't know. It's kind of like, I'm not really sure. Interesting.
And search for stdfs. This has various file system functionalities, helpers for file system. And let's search for walk here, which gives you the functionality to kind of recursively walk through a directory tree. It's really similar to the Deno reader, except it's recursive. So it also takes a string argument and returns an async iterable. Let's make use of this by just copying this import here and pasting it into our demo. We can make use of it basically immediately by replacing the Deno reader with walk. And that's all that we need to do here. We can just run this code now, and you might notice that there's quite a few more files now. Let's actually change. So its entry.name is just the file name, but if we do entry.path, we'll actually get absolute paths of all of these things, and you can see that it's kind of recursively jumping into like the JSR directory in this case. Let's actually make those absolute paths into relative paths by using one of the Node built-in libraries, Node path, just to give you a sense of what it's like to pull in Node built-in libraries. So you can import relative from node:path.
That's pretty cool.
That I assume many people are familiar with. And all we need to do here is replace this entry path here with relative dir, entry path to actually make these relative paths.
Nice.
So
it is cool to have the different ones.
JSR dependencies. Again, we don't need to create any extra files. There's no node modules folder. There's no installation at all. It kind of happens automatically. Let's say we want to publish this and share this tree function with people. Let's see what it's like to actually publish to JSR. So all I need to do here is go into my JSR window, my browser, and click publish. And I'll publish this under the Rise scope. And the package name, let's call it demo.
He just publishes it on Deno. He's just like, I'm just going to publish it on Deno.
When you click publish here, it's going to give you a little JSON snippet that you can drop into jsr.json or Deno.json. And let's just create, I'll do a Deno.json. So I'll create a Deno.json file. And I'm just going to update the version here to version 3 because I've tried this before. And yeah, the export's actually, I don't have a mod TS, but a main TS file. So let me modify that. And then in my main TS file,
I just feel like Deno is just better already compared to what, like to Node, you're saying?
I need to export this function. And I don't actually want this
they've been cooking on it for a while. It's not like it's brand new. You know what I mean? Like, they've been cooking for a while. The video we watched was from like 18 was the last one where he was introducing it. So it's been 6 years. Now I have a clip of someone using VS Code and THDV saying, nice, true.
These two lines here at the bottom to execute on
you got me.
Every time you import it. So I'm actually going to wrap those in if import meta main. And yeah, we should be ready to publish. So all we need to do is run Deno publish. And I'm getting 2 errors here. The first one is on line 1 with this JSR import. I don't have a version specifier. So it's fine to import packages from JSR and not have a version constraint. But if you're going to use those packages and publish a library to JSR, you actually need to be a little bit more specific about what version you're depending on so that we can resolve those packages concretely. And we'll depend on version 1, Semver version 1 of that. The other thing it's complaining about here is a missing license field in my Deno.json file. So let me add license, and we'll just call it MIT. And let's run Deno publish again. I need to authorize this publishing. Again, I'm logged into the website and we have some security constraints on JSR. Wait a second, and yeah, this is now published. So you can see the doc generation happening here, and you can see the tree function has been published to JSR.
Very cool.
There's no actual JS doc or documentation for this yet. And yeah, maybe I'll just show you what it's like to add some docs here. So let me add some JS docs. So we'll just say recursively list out files in a directory. And all we need to do then is bump the version and run publish again. Approve it.
That's pretty fast and easy. That's pretty wild.
And there we go. Now we can see the doc string represented in the auto-generated documentation.
That looks great. That's a very nice experience.
Improvements. We've added 3 new subcommands: Deno install, Deno add, and Deno remove to help you manage package JSON or Deno JSON files, the dependencies in them. We've introduced JSR, a modern registry for publishing JavaScript and TypeScript code that supports all runtimes. And we've stabilized the Deno standard library to Semver 1.0 and published it to JSR and made it available to all of these different runtimes out there. That's package management.
Enterprise
We've been talking
features.
to a lot
All
of
right,
users
let's see.
at larger companies about their usage of Deno, and the feedback that we've received is that it's great, but there are a couple of missing points. Private registries,
I got you, Dev. Yeah,
support,
that makes sense.
And stability guarantees or long-term support. So let's talk about each of those. First of all, private registries are now supported in Deno 2, essentially in the same way that they're supported in Node. You can add a .npm RC file.
Gotta have private
use the same syntax that you
registries.
do in Node, and you can access your company's internal private registry server. That easy as that. You can pull in those private npm packages. Deno workspaces is similar to.
Is it just npm packages, or can you do private registries for like JSR and other stuff? I don't know.
NPM
Maybe it doesn't
workspaces,
matter.
In fact, interoperates with npm workspaces, but essentially is monorepo support. It allows you to have multiple packages in a single monorepo, and Deno workspaces lets you mix and match package JSON modules and Deno JSON modules seamlessly, and has the great.
No way, man. The example they're going to give is really add and subtract. Come on, guys. Come on. Don't do that to us. Just because it's JavaScript files doesn't mean I have to 2 packages have to be add and subtract. Come on.
Great developer experience that one knows and loves from Deno. We've seen that larger, more mature development teams can't upgrade at the same cadence that we are releasing Deno minor releases. We release every 6 weeks. So to help support those teams, we are introducing long-term support branch, LTS releases. This is going to start with Deno 2.1, which will be released in October. And we will be backporting critical bug fixes to this branch for 6 months. This LTS release, of course, will be MIT licensed.
Right, at least left pad, we can all laugh, but add and subtract, come on, come on.
Freely available like the rest of Deno, but is largely aimed at companies that need to kind of vet individual binaries or have processes for introducing new versions. We have additional enterprise support, commercial support available. You can learn more about that at deno.com/enterprise. I want to touch on Deno's performance. Deno's performance is great.
Oops.
For instance, Deno's HTTP server has almost twice the throughput as Node's. JavaScript runtimes are multifaceted and have lots of different functionality. And so it's hard to sum it up in a single number or a single graph. But here are a number of benchmarks that give you some broad idea of how.
I'm a 6-year double major in finance CS, getting a little nervous about career opportunities in CS. I'm someone who really loves interacting with people, feel that soft skills could provide a lot of value. That's true in literally every job. So yes, that's true. I'm afraid with the market, I might end up taking a job at a company not the best company culture or team that's not the best. What are your feelings about the job market without killing my joy about CS or losing things I enjoy in general? Lots of people have to take jobs at companies that isn't the best company culture or a team that's not the best. That's literally just life. There's trade-offs for every single thing. So like, I don't think a CS major has ever guaranteed that won't be the case. It's just literally like, that's part of life. Sometimes you take a job that's not perfect. That's okay. At least like we work indoors in air conditioning and I don't have to like break myself. So I would just like encourage you to just like, that's okay. That's just fine. It's totally cool. But I'm pretty optimistic about the market overall. I think like a lot of it, toxic workplace build character. I wouldn't describe it that way. I'm just saying it can be okay. But my personal perspective is I think we're going to be writing code still for a little while. I don't know. I don't really like predicting the future. I definitely don't like making predictions that then people are going to base their jobs on, right? But like, it seems to me that we're still kind of far away from AIs taking all the jobs. And in the meantime, it just means more code is going to get generated. So knowing about code seems good. There you go.
how Deno performs. Overall, Deno performs fantastic. And there's much more. We're just scratching the surface here. We haven't talked about web GPU. We haven't talked about Deno's documentation generation. We haven't talked about...
Yeah, I did hear a lot of people saying the market is better. I don't really know. I'm very far removed from that. I don't have a job, you guys. This is my job. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the wrong person to ask. But in general, I just think like we're still kind of far away from AIs just writing everything. And if we do, literally no one can predict what's going to happen. Like, if your CS knowledge becomes useless, nobody in tech can tell you what is going to happen. They can't know. That is an unfathomably different world. If the cost of software is literally zero. Yeah, like, currently cleaning the inside of an aircraft fuel tank. Office sounds nice and school for CS. Yeah. Congrats, Rob. So it's like, I just think there's no like, what are you going to do? We can be plumbers. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think like getting people skills and soft skills is useful literally for as long as people have jobs. So if you're worried about getting a job while people still have jobs, that's a good skill to practice. You know what I mean? So I just think nobody knows a priori like what is going to happen if suddenly software gets past zero. You know what I'm saying? Right? If AI takes over, I'm buying a farm. Why do you think we're going to be farming if we can have AI do all the other jobs? My company CEO literally suggests using AI code generation. He says as long as code works. Okay, I mean, I feel like, yeah, it seems okay. Like, I mean, if it works, then it can be okay. I don't know. I don't really get like, but you still kind of got to know some things to know if it's working. Like, it's not enough to just look at it and say like, like we had a div. Okay, you need to know how to like test that and make sure it works on different other ones and other blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like it seems good. Yeah, farming is way harder than my job. Like when I had a software job, obviously now everything's harder than my job. I stream, you know, haha. TJ has the easiest job in the world. I get it. But like, yeah. Couldn't farm if I've ever done any farm work. It's probably zero. I've said this many times. I'm very thankful that I don't have to farm, and I'm very thankful that this, this can be my job. Very grateful for that opportunity. Yeah. And that I can provide for my family in that way. So I think, like, it's just really, I think the other thing, it's like, okay, this is the thing I've been saying, and I'll say it again. If OpenAI solves coding, right? If they solved coding, you will not find out about it via a public release notice where they publish something in the stupid old New York Times, 6 years out of date, full of idiots. You won't find it there. You will find it by them releasing Microsoft 2 and Apple 2 and Bloomberg Terminal 7, and they will just recreate all of the expensive businesses and just build them in seconds and then say, haha, look, we have this and we'll offer it to you for a quarter of the price. And then they won't sell you compute because they will use it to instead build anything that you would have built. Like they're not just gonna, it's, you know, he's like, yeah. Had a professor who's working on generative AI at Google. He said the last people to be automated are the people automating. I'm sure that's what he says as a person working on doing automating. Congrats if he thinks that's the case. Wow, amazing. Yeah, I'm more worried about the economy. Well, but like, I don't know what, I have 4 acres vineyard, not easy. Yeah. But it's like, we don't know. I mean, sometimes when people like get a great boost in productivity, everyone gets richer. I don't know. Maybe that's what will happen. Maybe you'll need to make less money to survive. Like, deflation can be good, you know? I mean, not for people holding debts, I guess, and other stuff like this, but like for the regular person, their money goes farther, that's better. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to predict the future about what's going to happen in the worldwide economy in the next 10 years. I don't know. I don't have any power to change that either. But like gaining skills, making relationships, learning things, thinking critically, and practicing, boom, We'll just work more as always. That's literally, that is such a bad take. It's the worst take. It's so boring. We work so much less than people 500 years ago. Like, we work so much less. Except me, I do Haskell and raise geese. Nice, smart. Like, I have teacher on TV, so you're supposed to have answers. Yeah, I have a lot of concerns. I'm not saying I have no concerns. I'm not saying I don't have a lot of concerns. Okay. But I'm just saying it's just not, I don't know. 500 years before where? Well, here's the thing. They could not possibly work enough to have penicillin. And I can have penicillin for almost no time. So it's like, okay. To work to get anything close to what we have right now would be not only impossible, but also the amount of time it would have taken would be unfathomable. That's like, so I don't know. I just think I'm very happy to be born when I was. I feel very blessed. I'm not super, there's no point in worrying about something you can't do. You should just be trying your best to get the skills you can right now. I think like CS is a perfectly reasonable career path. If you hate CS, maybe you should find something that you're going to be more passionate about that you can do better. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, yeah. That working harder will prevent you from getting laid off as a fallacy that boomers feed you. Oh, here we go. The last laid off person, this person provides the most value to the company. It just means it's not always true either, but don't push the bottom line. Will get no matter how much on job security. Attach yourself to projects that drive the bottom line for the company. Yeah, I mean, it's true. It turns out when you make more money for the company, they'll want to keep you. That's, yeah, it's good. We have more and we're stressed more. Yeah, but you may be doing some correlation that I don't agree with there. I'm just saying. And you also have no idea how stressed. I just think people really underestimate how stressed people were 500 years ago when it was like, yeah, 3 of your kids died in childbirth. Then your wife dies. And now it's just you and 4 other kids working on a farm. And like, okay. I don't know. I don't have a lot of patience for that take, chat. I'll just be honest with you. I don't have a lot of patience for that take. Whatever.
FFI or Fresh or Deno deploy.
I'm Unibomb Pilgrim. You're not getting through.
One more demo here on our Jupyter.
I'm not saying everything about the modern day is better.
Notebook support. So I'm going to just open up Jupyter Notebooks. And
okay, permaban. Don't tell me what to do.
I'm going to create a
guys. I'm here to learn Deno. Play the video, please. Here's the video link in case anybody wants it. Congrats. Like,
new notebook. All you need to do is switch the kernel from Python, the default, of course, to Deno.
That's got, you've got
and
a point
you can
there.
now execute some Deno code. What I'm going to do is pull in observable plot and plot some stuff with JavaScript. So let's.
He can copy it from right here. Here we go. There you go. It's right here. It's just like, I'm not. Guys, don't tell Streamer what to do. It's a bad plan.
Let's do that. So import star as plot from npm observable hq plot is, let's make sure that works. Yes. Observable plot
say that's
is
a prime. True.
Just a fantastic graphics library for analyzing data. I need a little bit of data to analyze. So let me pull in a data set called penguins. So import penguins. Penguins from, and this is just a little library that I have called Jupyter-helper on JSR. Penguins is an async function that returns some data.
Is this like kind of blurry for you guys too? I feel like this is not like, this is supposed to be, it's just kind of blurry. How do you find Ghosty? It's good.
I'll just await penguins.
I don't have a lot of opinions
about it. We can actually
it.
load some data here. Yeah, so here's a table. This data set is a bunch of measurements of penguins, just kind of a sample data set. We need one more object here, which is a document object, in order to interact with observable.
Trey, you didn't tell me what to do. You said, here's 2 videos that would be good.
Plot. So let me assign this penguins data set to P here. And let me...
Also, the reason I permaban the guy is he's a first-time chat. Like, if you're just going to first-time chat, it's very different if you've sent 100 messages in chat and then you ask to do something. It's just like, this is just a PSA for all the rest of you. It's not a good strategy to send your first-time chat demanding things from streamer. I'm going to fire users from the stream. That's fine. It's okay. You know?
Print it out again, just so
no,
I
you're
can
not a first-time chat.
And
Wills,
man,
you've sent
with kind of two rows of this data here. So observable works like this. You do plot. and you give it some marks, which is an array, and you give it this document. Inside of
See, stream first time. Play the video, man. I don't care about you. Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna fire the user. That's okay.
marks, if you want to do a scatter plot, do plot dot, and we'll just do P to record.
Nope. Daddy Bedro, you've got 307.
To get our penguins data set in the right format. And then we just need to give it X and Y.
It's a Teachcoin rating. Yeah, 1,000.
Coordinates here. Yeah, let's just say const X equals Coleman length. I think this is some measurement of a penguin's beak size, maybe. And I don't know, let's measure it against flipper length. Const Y is flipper length.
Properly tail
and yeah,
oh, RJS, hey, thanks for the sub.
It's black and white. You know, maybe not so interesting. Maybe we can add
if all you care about is the video. Oh, that was really loud for me. Oh, that's really loud for you guys too. Oh, that's because, oh, that's why. Okay. There we go. I got surprised. I forgot that I turned up the audio for something else and then it started the music over. That's my bad. I got very confused. We're back. We're back. I got it now. Okay. I got it. I was not expecting that either. It was very loud in my ears. I forgot. I look like a mofo, probably have under 5 messages. Nice. Ken Pafu, you've got exactly 5 messages now. So before that, you had 4. They have plotting built into the standard lib. No, it's not into the standard lib. He has a different one for it, but he's importing it into here. If you only could reflex and close your ears, that would be a pretty useful thing. What is happening? Yeah. So anyways, I got confused. We're back. We're so back now,
color
chat.
Here and kind of color it based on species. And yeah, suddenly you can kind of see 3 different species of penguins kind of broken out by their flipper length and beak lengths. So yeah, just to take everything full circle here, let's pull in that.
What? Oh, what? Sorry, one sec, chat. What is happening? Hello, Bash?
Hello? What is this?
Did you just knock on stream? Chat, can you hear Bash?
Wait, hold on. They can't hear you. Can they hear me?
Yeah, chat. My chat can hear you, yeah.
Oh my gosh, wait. I mean, I gotta add. Oh, wait, I gotta.
It's kind of goofy audio. I don't know why, though. It's kind of scuffed.
My audio's broken.
You sound like... I don't know why. Maybe it's just... Could be me.
Oh.
Performance issues detected. I don't know why. Interesting. Oh, nope. It seems back now, maybe.
Oh.
I don't know. Well, I'll just close a bunch of Chrome tabs and we'll see if that solves the problems. You never know. Hello? Bash, are you still here?
Hello.
Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What did you need something?
No.
Nice. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. No, that's yeah, this is guest star. Pretty cool feature.
Hold on. Wait, can you talk?
Yeah, I'm still talking. Yeah, maybe she's just trolling me. No, there's something weird with my
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you too. Yeah.
That's so fun. I didn't know this was a feature. I barely know how Twitch works.
Yeah, it's a feature. It's a very well put together feature, I think. Does it show you on my stream now that we're guest calling? We're guest.
Wait.
Nice, it does. It says streaming with Bash Money. Nice. Bash, what are you doing today? What are you up to today?
Can they wait? I don't know if my chat can hear me. Hold on.
Oh, nice.
Hello?
Yeah. Oh, they can't even. Your chat can't even hear you. Hello, chat.
Oh, no. Okay.
They can't hear you.
Like we hear them twice. I'm. I'm a very scuffed streamer today.
Oh, they're probably hearing me.
This is so fun.
Oh, they're probably hearing me through. Maybe they're hearing you through my thing too. No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know. Is it a shared chat now too?
Microphone? No. Here, where am I? No, it can be. Yes, it can be. If you want it to be. Yeah.
Should we combine?
I think isn't it already? I thought it already was. Stream this video to your channel? I have no idea what's happening. Knock? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. Oh, because you collaborated with me. Now we have shared chats. I'm typing from my chat. I have the weirdest audio things going on right now. I don't know why. Maybe I just need to restart my computer. That could be. I think I accidentally trying to fix this. I might have turned this off here. Let's go back to here. Something like this. I don't know. Let me refresh this page. I'll probably disappear for a second. Okay, now I'm back. Oh, that was nice. I didn't have to click anything.
Does he sound all high pitched to you? Because he does for me, but it's because my audio's broken.
I think it's me. Okay, Bash, I'm gonna go. I gotta go.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Bye. My audio's scuffed for that. I don't know what happened, chat. I'm giving up. What? Okay, what are you guys talking about now? I don't know why my audio is just broken. Thank you for indulging me. No problem, Bash. No problem. Later I will figure out why my audio scuffed. Okay. Why do I sound like an AI? I don't know. It's very weird. Pipewire issue. It's not on Linux, chat. I have a Windows computer that's doing the audio. Let me see if I can time out someone from Tejas chat. What did I miss? Was someone asking we ban someone? We did ban somebody today. I almost never ban anybody, but the only just people who think they can demand things immediately and then just like, it's just not fun. It's just not fun. Okay. All right. Let's continue, shall we?
Tree function that we just published to JSR and plot a directory tree with that. So first of all, import tree from JSR:/rye
exactly.
-demo. And yeah, let's just make sure this works. So await tree users, rye, src, Deno, runtime, my favorite directory. And yeah, we've got an array of data here. Let's assign
this is really cool though. This Jupyter notebook for Deno and stuff is very cool.
Variable files, let's say.
And probably is recall. You're probably right.
Observability. So plot marks is an array, and we'll just do plot.
No, tree. Jupyter has different kernels you can load in, and there's a bunch of different languages that have support for Jupyter, Jupyter kernel, Jupyter stuff. Yeah, it's very cool. Oh, what up, Lithium?
And we'll give files here, and again, document. And yeah, suddenly you have a visual representation of a file tree.
That's pretty sick. That's a cool. These are cool demos. This is a very cool demo.
Can maybe even clean it up a little bit more by turning off the axis and giving it a margin. But yeah, same thing. Observable is super cool. Check it out. And it interacts very nicely with Deno and Jupyter Notebooks. Like I said before, there's so much more to Deno. We're just scratching the surface. Deno is ready for production now. I can't wait for you to explore it. And by the way, we're also introducing a new logo, so check that out. Thanks, everyone, for you to explore it. And by the way, we're also introducing a new logo, so check that out. Thanks, everyone.
Probably licensing related.
Hello, everybody. This is the Deno team streaming to you live from a hotel conference room in Dublin. I'm Joe,
cool.
I'm the DevRel here at Deno, and I'll be our host for this live stream. I hope you're super excited about Deno too. I know we all are. The whole team, we're actually here together for an offsite that was happening. We're in Ireland. It's about 5:30 p.m. for us at the moment. But we thought we'd take the opportunity to open the floor up to the entire team.
Oh, that's fun. I like that they did this.
We're looking forward to hearing what you're excited about, what you'd like to know, and you can get the chance to actually ask questions of the engineers who have built the runtime that you love. But before we get to the questions, let's actually introduce the team. They'd really love to meet you all as well and hear a little bit about what everyone has worked on. So first up, let's have Luca.
Hi folks, I'm Luca. I've been working at Deno for actually ever since 1.0 release, and I've been working on Deno 2 for a while, mostly on Node crypto upgrades.
Deno is my best friend, yeah.
I want to introduce Divi next.
Hello, I'm Divi. I worked on framework compat, like
Or they just skip, sorry, not to skip everybody. But I am gonna skip forward through here, not to skip forward over the intros.
Contributing. But team, introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Bartek. I'm the team lead for the Deno CLI. I've been working on Deno for over 5 years, and
I like the
wrote
plushie.
stuff like Deno Bench or Deno Test, Deno Lint, but I pretty much patched everything there is at some point. Ryan?
Yeah.
I'm Ryan. You just
Yeah, the intros, I just feel like, I mean, I like that they want to give everybody a shout out, but maybe like a page with their faces or something.
listen to me stutter through a prolonged introduction to Deno.
Yeah, we're in the Q&A.
Hopefully it wasn't
Yeah.
too painful. Somehow I've become a marketing mascot for this company. But yeah, also co-founded it here with Bert.
Yeah, I'm Bert. Ryan and I go back more than a decade to the early days of Node.js, actually, where Ryan of course invented that, and I was involved in the development of libuv and porting it to Windows. And
Bert actually made it possible. Yeah,
Oh, sick. Okay, that's cool too. I do want to talk about libuv at some point. Would be fun. Windows compat, other stuff. This is what made Neoviim possible, by the way.
Well, together with Igor, by the way, who is in the back of the room and didn't introduce himself.
Yes,
Should point
yes,
that out.
I forgot to say we have, of course, also got the deploy team with us here today. Say hi, deploy team. Awesome. So let's jump straight in with the most important question, which has come from the chat, which is Ryan, how did you manage to code all of that without Copilot?
I think I did have Copilot on in there, but maybe I disabled it. Yeah, really, I practiced live demos like many times. Still stutter through them.
Excellent. So first of all, question from me, like, what are the changes that you're most excited about that have come in from Deno 2? Like, do you have a personal favorite, each of you?
Oh, I love all of them, honestly.
That's cheating.
Sure it is. Well, I believe I'm most excited about giving folks ability to run their existing projects that were probably offered for Node.js with Deno with little to no changes.
That's a huge thing.
Wait, what was the? I missed.
Excited about giving folks ability to run their existing projects.
Oh, run
that
the
were
existing
probably
projects
offered
from
for
Node.
Node.js
Okay,
with
yeah.
Deno with little to no changes.
That's a huge thing.
I really like JSR. It's fantastic. The node compat stuff is good and necessary, but it's more fun when we can kind of push the envelope of what's possible in JavaScript.
Yeah, for me,
That's saying I wish we didn't add node compat, but we were forced to do it. Oh my goodness, that's literally like, yeah. I wish we didn't have to do this, but we had to. JSR is just strictly better.
it would also be exactly that. The compatibility with the ecosystem in a broad sense is really important for me. I also really like workspaces, to be honest. I think it's easy to forget that, but I think it's very useful.
Nice, awesome. That's some cool things for people to look out for, particularly for Deno 2. So there's been a couple of people asking in the chat what's happening with bundling in Deno 2. Is that something that's going to be supported? What's the plan?
Did the way she say that make it sound like she emphasized the bun in bundling? Just throwing it out there. Because am I right, chat?
Well, the plan is still in the works. As you folks probably know, we deprecated and removed Deno bundle, but we're not giving up on it. We're just regrouping here and figuring out the best solution so we can actually cater to your needs and satisfy what you want to do when bundling with Deno. So stay tuned for some news.
Bundling is like a very hard problem in general, and we've had a simple solution that just compiles all of your code into a single file, and that's nice for some use cases. But in general, for websites, bundling is a very difficult problem, and Deno is more focused on executing JavaScript than solving this other very difficult problem of bundling. And we are not satisfied with how Deno bundle operated, and didn't feel that we could contribute something that was state of the art for website bundling, and so removed it. So we acknowledge that this is an important part of the JavaScript toolchain, but
interesting.
Yeah, we are going to be looking at how to improve that situation in the future. I think this might mean shelling out to some other bundler like ESBuild. It might mean kind of working with there's many projects out there that are attempting this, and we'll integrate that somehow into the overall Deno toolchain. But that's not here in Deno 2.
I like that he's like, we couldn't do something state of the art for this, so we removed it. We'll figure it out later. I like this. I feel like that's one of the learnings from like modules in Node, right? Which is like when you don't get it right, basically like it just keeps going wrong. And it's interesting in the business of figuring out how to execute JavaScript, which is a hard problem, right? Separate problem is how to bundle JavaScript, which I like as well. Yeah.
Cool. And there's a few people asking about compile. So are we going to be able to take the Node tools like things that require Node installed, compile them, and then remove the Node requirement for end users?
Oh, that's a tough one. Well, depends on the particular tool. It's hard to say en masse that all of them will work, but that's certainly possible for some of them. I think ESLint might be a good example that could be compiled down and not require Node anymore. But yeah, pretty much you need to evaluate on the tool by tool basis, because these tools are really complex and they do a lot of intricate operations. So can't really promise that all of them will be able to be compiled down without Node.
And there was a lot of people asking about Electron and like desktop apps. Are we going to be able to build those?
So Deno does have some pretty interesting support for windowing, and I'm blinking on the actual SUI. No, for binding a window. There's unsafe window surface. Divi's got some demos out there of kind of drawing native applications, and I think the very interesting ones are taking WebGPU without a browser and kind of drawing a window directly on there. He's got like a Flappy Birds demo that is GPU accelerated.
Oh, that's cool.
And drawing on a desktop and can use Deno compile and compile down into a binary, but actually doesn't.
That's crazy.
Is not bundling a browser at all. Electron-like capability is. Likely you want to have a web browser bundle along with that, and I think would require kind of more infrastructure. But I think this can be built with Deno compile, with some work.
Awesome. And this is maybe a difficult question off the.
That's an interesting idea.
Do you know how big the compiled runtime is?
It's I think 60 megabytes or so on Macintosh. I think it depends on the platform, which you might balk at if you're a Go user and seeing a Hello World demo that is a couple of kilobytes large. But it is the full JavaScript runtime. So the way that Deno compile works is it kind of takes your JavaScript and attaches it to the end of a slimmed down Deno binary. It's not compiling your JavaScript into assembly. That's not possible. JavaScript is a very dynamic language. But frankly, does it really matter? Like 60 megabytes? I think it's a kind of academic argument. It might matter in certain situations, but in those certain situations,
good answer.
JavaScript's probably not the right tool for the job in the first place.
Good answer.
And somebody asked, I don't actually know, can we install Deno with Homebrew at the moment? Are we planning to be able to install Deno with Homebrew?
Oh yeah, certainly. Not right now. We've released Deno 2 like literally a couple hours ago, and Nathan back here is working really hard to provide the Homebrew build, so expect it to be available maybe in a matter of hours or maybe in a couple of days. But yeah, it's getting done.
Awesome. That's really cool to hear. And there was a lot of love for Fresh happening in the chat while the video was streaming. So what's happening with Fresh? And is there going to be a Fresh 2?
Fresh 2 is coming. We've been working on this Deno 2 for a while now, but it's
Fresh 2 coming.
We're
nice.
dotting our I's and crossing our T's. So yeah, stay tuned.
Awesome. And how about Deploy? Does Deploy support Deno 2?
Not yet, but we are.
Not this hour, but maybe in the next hour. Very soon now. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, and there's.
I think it does already now because I think I tried it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about Fresh 2. I just don't know how much I want to like if he's not done with it yet, like, but we could ask him sort of like what are you looking to fix? I think I'd be interested.
So just try it out and you should be good to go.
Usually we have 2 hours slotted. Usually it'll be about an hour to an hour 15 of us doing like some prepared questions and some topics like that Prime and I prepare, and then we do the live Q&A. So like, and then that usually lasts like 30 more minutes with like from chat. Basically you have to ask them through Prime's Discord and other stuff like that because it's too hard to do everybody's. But yeah, we're going to interview him when tomorrow. Yeah, on Top Shelf. What if he does research on your research? Oh no, then we'd be screwed because then he'll know all the answers. Have you tried Deno 2 today? Yep, I played with it for a little bit. I played with it last night a bit off stream and some other stuff too, and well, just yesterday in general as well. So then I've already done like seen Deno deploy and tried some stuff with Fresh and a bunch of other stuff. Found Ryan's alts, yeah, exactly.
And what else have we got in here? Does Deno cache completely replace the timeout warm-up in containers now?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I don't think Deno cache produces the V8 code cache.
No, it does not.
Like, does Ryan get to ask questions to us? He could, I guess. I mean, it's mostly like we're interviewing them. I don't know what. I mean, if he wants to ask us something, we'll answer. When are you doing? Tomorrow at 5 p.m.
However, you can.
I've been acting like an idiot all day to cover my tracks. Big brain. Yeah. If this turns out to be Ryan's alt account, I'll be very surprised.
Warm up the V8 caches and have.
We're Top Shelf Live on the Prime Engines channel.
As much data as possible cached to improve your startup time. So the answer would be no, Deno cache does not replace it.
By the way, switch your Deno cache usage to Deno install. That's the preferred way of naming it. Deno cache is still there, but it's a to-do for Deno install to produce the V8 code cache, which is what's necessary to really optimize the cold start time.
And we have a blog post on AWS Lambda cold start optimization and show how to do that in a Docker file. You can Google it.
And if you have a Deno 1x project, where can we go to learn about how to swap over to Deno 2?
Well, first of all, if you do upgrade Deno from Deno 1x,
Yeah,
Deno 2,
it'll be if like in this link here, like you can get the YouTube playlist where all of them get uploaded, or subscribe on like Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. Or soon, I have a few podcast places that still have to get uploaded too, but it'll get uploaded there, so you can catch it later.
It's nice banner.
They're all getting published as like a real and proper podcast and everything, so you can have audio only and all that good stuff later.
Linking to the blog post, but also to the migration guide, which should work you through most of the changes required. And well, there should not be too many changes required. We were really diligent in how we migrate from Deno 1 to Deno 2. So hopefully just do Deno upgrade.
What is negative space programming? I don't know what that is.
Again, everything still works. But if you need help, go to docsdeno.com and search for the migration guides page.
Awesome. So the website talks a lot about Deno being secure, but like, what does that actually mean in comparison to Node, for example?
That means that when you do any sort of I/O operation, when you access the operating system, if you touch the disk, if you open a network connection, if you do some operating system, you try to list the network.
Thoughts on it? Depends on. I'll give you the boring answer, which is it just depends on the project. I think negative space can be nice. It depends on the kind of programming language you're using, and like it depends on a bunch of different stuff, right? In OCaml, I would feel less likely that I need to do negative space programming. If I was writing vanilla JavaScript, I would want to write more, right? Generally speaking, because less constraints can be included in other ways, right? So it just really depends on the project and what I'm doing. I don't know. I don't have any better answer than that for you. It's sort of like you got to pick what kind of project you're doing, and then does it make sense to use that kind of thing? If you have a particular question, I can give you maybe more particular answer.
Network interfaces, Deno by default will not allow that to happen. They're in a similar way that if you go to a website that tries to open your camera, you just don't have that permission by default. Like you have to kind of opt into that permission.
Yeah.
So similarly in Deno, you need to opt into being able to read from the file system, for example, or open a network connection.
Awesome.
I like how he compared that to, because once again, like so much I feel of what Deno is trying to do is be like, okay, the web browser establishes this pattern, this is how you're used to it. So then how can we take that same pattern and do it here, right? Which is like, okay, permissions. It's like, okay, well, you can request the permissions and the user manually opts into them. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. Why do most people do Deno run -8? Well, yeah, of course, because they're just like doing a random script, or they're not running untrusted code or a bunch of other stuff. I actually don't think most people use Deno run -A, because most people probably running Deno right now are doing it through Slack or Netlify or other places where it's not -A. They just don't know that they're running Deno necessarily.
Other questions have we got in from chat? Are we going to get JSR private packages and self-hosting?
Maybe. Not yet.
Well, if you're brave enough, you can certainly host your own JSR instance and use it with Deno.
Yeah, JSR is open source, unlike the NPM registry, and you can go find that code, github.com/denoland/JSR, I believe, and yeah, host it yourself. It's going to be more than like running a single command, of course, and we haven't made that particularly easy. I think if you do need private packages, I think the right way to go about that right now is to have a npm private registry, as you normally would, and Deno supports that, and you can kind of pull in packages via npm:. Having private JSR registry is something we've discussed, but and certainly possible if you kind of twiddle the knobs enough, but probably not a happy path for most people.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, and but you mentioned that workspaces were your sort of most excited feature that you've added.
Oh, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, I haven't heard them talking about that at all, but it would be interesting to ask, like, is there npm audit or similar for JSR, and what are it's just like, yeah. I think that's pretty much. I don't need to write anything else.
Expand a little bit on like what workspaces are and what the plan for extending workspace functionality is in the future.
I don't think I'm the right person to ask how to extend it, but workspaces really helps you if you have a mono repo where you develop multiple applications or multiple Deno programs, and you need to share something between them. I think Bartek, what are we planning to do there next?
Well, right now you can use Deno workspaces, like let's say Deno first, but you can also use NPM workspaces with Deno, and you can even mix the two of them in a single monorepo. So let's say you have an existing app that consists of multiple supporting libraries. You don't have to buy right in for all of it, like Ryan mentioned in the presentation. You can start small, add a new directory that's Deno first, and essentially mix and match feel if you like the flow, and then migrate gradually. So that's like one of the coolest features of workspaces we have right now.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
We'll have a lot of experience with workspaces in Yarn, PMPM, NPM, and we definitely want to keep improving Deno's implementation to make it more ergonomic and powerful as people need it.
Nice. So a few folks have mentioned having the ability to create plugins or extensions. Is that something that's in the works, like a Yarn plugin or like an install it or custom CLI command?
I'm not sure. I know Yarn plugins, to be honest. Well, you can certainly create CLI tools with Deno. Like, that's pretty much one of the best use cases. As Ryan presented, Deno compile, you essentially get the single executable. So that's just a perfect solution. As for Yarn plugins, I'm really not sure what to answer here. I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah, what do Yarn plugins do?
Does anyone know what Yarn plugins do?
We don't have one, yes.
Oh, custom resolution? Yeah, I mean, if the question is like, how do you kind of do your own custom resolution scheme? We're fairly adamantly against that, right? We want kind of a defined resolution mechanism. So, we have these NPM colon, you can pull in HEPS, you can pull in source code from URLs. There's a couple of defined paths for pulling in packages, but we don't want the language to just go off in every different direction. Like we kind of want a structured language that has a defined resolution scheme. This is essentially what makes a lot of Node tooling so complicated is that people like augment the language and pass it through transpilers and do all sorts of funky stuff with it.
Smart. I like that.
Ultimately results in a complicated system. But that said, I don't actually know what Yarn plugins do, so that's all assumption.
Okay, then moving on, someone has asked whether security tools like Sneak are going to be able to analyze the Deno source so that enterprise security groups are going to be more willing to adopt Deno LTS.
You should use socket.dev instead of Sneak, first of all. But eventually, yes, we're very open to working with Sneak org, and I'm sure Socket will add support before that.
At the end of the day, it's very vanilla JavaScript that you write at Deno. So I mean, tooling that they already have that should work for Node probably is very easy to adapt to Deno.
Awesome. And when is Deno 2 going to be a certified image for Lambda?
They already have a cloud for Deno. You can literally already deploy Deno right now. They already have Deno deploy. Now it's not exactly the same as Laravel's one because this is all. I don't think this is like. It's not like a server in the same way, right? Like I think. Weird, must have caught him in the middle of a deploy. Something, I don't know. That was weird, or it was me. But like you can just deploy the Deno runtime like right now. I don't know exactly everything about it, but it's like they already have this. This is working. I already did this today. lawn.deno.dev. This is me. The guy just wrote this earlier, right? And you just deploy it. So just give it a repo. It's deployed. It was really fast too. Really fast. Overall, I was really pleased. I mean, like I only did the most basic of stuff with it. You know what I'm saying? But like it was really good. And it was fast. It felt fast. I probably don't want to open that. So they already have that. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was pretty cool.
Unknown.
Yeah, unknown. We're trying.
Does Deno 2 work nicely with Puppeteer?
Yes, it does.
Excellent. And are we getting native SQLite API, SQLite?
It's implemented. Divi just implemented it yesterday, the Node SQLite built-in library that Node has. I think we probably wait until Node unflags it before we release it. But given that we implement all of the Node built-in APIs, if they stabilize it, we will follow.
Awesome. All right.
Interesting. Okay, so they do all of the Node internal APIs. I do still like. I don't think I really understand everything that's going on there. I need to look into this a little bit more. So they re-implement all of Node APIs. I guess like I don't understand exactly how this is working. Like, what does that look like? We go to like Deno land Deno. Right, they just write their own shims. Like where? Where does that go to? Like, is it in runtime? Like, node. Cli, node rs, node path. Is there like path? So is this a re-implementation? Node resolver, Node.js compatible resolution for the Deno project. But there's more things than clean. This is obviously not the thing that I'm looking for, right? So I don't know, maybe that's node. Oh, node path polyfills. Here we go. Your FFI, all Node.js from C++ are complete rewrite. Gotcha. It's like in this. This is their polyfills for X. Got it. Like stuff inside of here. So they must have like const path or something. Is Windows, Win32, POSIX here, blah, 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 const. Yeah. Right. Okay. Got it. Got it. That makes sense. X Deno node. Okay. Yep. So they've got something inside of here. Oh, where was that importing from? Oh, some other place. Oh, there must be some Deno node package or something like this. I don't know. Deno node. Is this a thing? Must be in a different spot. Node shims. This maybe? Huh. Okay. I don't know. Interesting.
Hour, so maybe we could
Yeah.
consider wrapping it up. But I'd just like to ask each of you, and indeed anyone in the room, it's lovely to have you all here. This is like a significant milestone for Deno. So what future enhancements are you personally excited about? Like what's coming? What can people out there get excited about?
The list is endless. No, my personal favorite, something that we've been pondering for a long time, is maybe plugins for linting, so that you can use your favorite preset or write your own presets to enforce certain conventions across your team and company.
I'm looking forward to WASM imports.
Yeah, that makes sense, Troy.
Luca's been doing work in TC39 to kind of make sure that this is sound with the language, and I think this is all kind of worked out. So
WASM imports.
We'll be adding the ability to just import a WASM binary.
I think mine would be, so this is really something that comes out of our experience with Deno deploy.
That's cool.
We're looking at building telemetry and observability deep into Deno, so that would be very easy for you to get traces and logs, and especially like associate them with requests that come in through an HTTP server. And that's really to make like operating, a Deno website much easier, and also just during development.
Makes sense. WASM, sandbox it. Yeah.
But not yet in Deno 2.
Very cool.
Add interactive graphs and notebooks. So imagine Brian's demo of penguin beaks and flippers, but then you got some sliders there, so we can zoom in or maybe filter out some of the data set there. And I think that's also really close.
I love that.
Oh, cool. Interactive notebooks would be cool.
Amazing.
I don't know how much we'll talk about
Thank you
that.
so much for joining us. We hope that you're super excited about Deno 2, and we would love to hear your thoughts. So try it out, let us know, and we'll see you on.
Oh, I guess they're done. Okay. All right. Okay, I should go now because it's pretty much the end of the day. Is Bash still streaming?
Wow. Hey. Fancy meeting you here at the end of the video. Just go ahead, give it a smash. Wow, the like button. You can make fun of me in the comments for that one. I don't even care because you made it to the end of this video. Thanks, everybody. See ya.